And aloha to our friends back on YouTube once again. My name is Wolf. You're tuned in for some live tarot readings with Wolf. For those of you who are here, please feel free to drop those 1111s in the chat to make sure that you can hear me okay, to make sure that the sound's nice and clear. And we'll get into some readings as soon as we are ready, and just to be able to give people another chance to tune in. And again, for those of you who are here for the first time, drop a 222 in the comments. We're setting the intention of being able to get at least 3 new Patreon signups during this broadcast. Watch on YouTube. And for those of you on Facebook, if you want to watch on YouTube, that's totally cool. We'll share this broadcast around, and I'm about to launch this broadcast in the 1111 movement group. And then from there we will get right into our first reading. So again, for those of you who are here for the first time, what our objectives are: provide awesome readings for the community, invite people to be able to support on the Patreon that I have, where they can get awesome cool perks such as the Lemurian Light Guardian Crystals that I make, access to me as a private conscious media creation coach. There's like a value of like over like $500 in the Patreon when you sign up at just the sliding scale is the $11 entry. And again, we're working towards our goal of 200 Patreon supporters. So me doing the work here is me doing the work for the community so that we can keep showing up and do more for everyone. So I'm going to start the broadcast in the 1111 movement group, and then you're probably going to hear me kind of repeat some of the same things because we're going to have more people tuned in. For those of you tuning in on Instagram, go ahead and click the link in my bio. And again, thank you everyone for being here. Keep dropping those comments down below. Share this on Facebook or YouTube. Like this video on YouTube. And we're going to start the broadcast in the 1111 movement group, and away we go. All right, aloha to those of you tuning into this broadcast on the 1111 movement group on Facebook, on YouTube, wherever you happen to be tuned into this broadcast. Thank you so much for joining. Thank you so much for being here. My name is Wolf. You're watching live tarot readings with Wolf. We've been doing these for quite a while. How many have we even done so far? Like, I think at this point, like, I don't know, like probably 100, give or take. So again, what we're gonna do over these next little bit, over the next couple hours, we're gonna do several tarot readings for people in the community, and we're gonna choose the first one for people right out of the chat, and then the additional ones are gonna be for people as they sign up to support on Patreon. And Patreon is a website where people can support artists they like with monthly micro contributions. And hey, when you sign up to my Patreon, you're supporting some really cool stuff. And again, I'll post a link for that down in the chat. And the Patreon, again, is available for people to sign up to. And so we're going to do a reading right out of the chat for the people who are here first and foremost. And then from there, the additional readings will be for people as they sign up for the Patreon to be able to help work towards our objectives. And I'll explain more about the Patreon as we go. But if anybody here would like to be able to get the ball rolling on the Patreon, go ahead and do that now. And our objective is to be able to get 3 Patreon signups during the broadcast. And when you sign up onto the Patreon, you can choose which deck you would like, be it the Ananda Tarot deck or the Lightworker Oracle deck. So again, we'll get into that a little bit more, but if you would like to, if you want one of them Light Guardian Crystals, signing up to the Patreon is a great way to be able to get one. And again, that's supporting the work that I do as a full-time conscious media creator, director of Paradigm Shift Central. I'm an award-winning Canadian filmmaker devoted to helping shift consciousness. It's my goal to be able to help assist and accelerate the shift, to be able to help support fellow conscious creators and leaders in becoming self-sustained and sharing their gifts and their passions. So if that's something you're vibing with, or that's something you just even want to support, then please check out the Patreon for more information, and we'll keep an eye on that. But let's get right into our first reading. So thank you for everybody here. If you're just interested in the reading, drop a 333 in the comments. Stand by. I'm going to explain the instructions for you. If this is your first time here, welcome to the party. It's pretty cool. And again, let me just give you the overview. Our intentions for these readings. What I do here is not a psychic reading, is not a fortune telling. What we do is we set forth the intention to be able to ask the universe to show us what we need to see. And then through this, we receive inspiration through the cards, through me working as a conduit, as a channel, to be able to provide you, the community, the audience, to be able to provide us with inspiration, clarity, and insight to assist us on our journey as light workers, light guardians, and shifters, people who are intentionally helping assist with the shift in consciousness. So I want to just be able to welcome you. Thank you for being here. And if this is your first time, let this just be like a cool chance to vibe with what we are creating. And again, if you want to be able to support on the Patreon, that is super, super appreciated. And we'll go through this together. And when you do sign up onto the Patreon, the reading that you get on air is also like a collective reading. So the readings that we do, it's never just for one person. It's for whoever's tuned in. And that's a really cool thing. So I got to leave for hockey in about 2 hours. Our goal is to get 3 Patreon signups in the next 2 hours. So let's get those people signed up to the Patreon ready. So we're going to do the first reading for someone just out of the chat, and then the next reading will begin for the community as soon as we have that first person signed up for the Patreon. So Patreon is linked into the comments down below. You can see it on screen there. Open it up in mobile. It only takes 3 minutes to sign up. $5 or $11 monthly contribution. Signing up there gets you a beautiful Lemurian Light Guardian Crystal, access to me as your conscious media creation coach, the ability to join our private membership within the Paradigm Shift Central community of conscious creators and leaders, and lots of other cool stuff. But hey, you probably you're not here to just hear me like try and sell you stuff, but believe me, I'm not. I'm trying to invite you to be able to support something really, really awesome and important for the community. And you can check out more what I do. Full moon guided meditations, free hugs videos, full-length movies, lots of really, really, really cool stuff. You can check out my Instagram at Mystic Spider-Man to be able to see more. And let's get right into this first reading. So again, if anybody's just like, yo, I want that Light Guardian Crystal, then let's do it. Let's get those first Patreon signups nice and early, and then we'll get right into the second reading as soon as possible, meaning no delay. But for this one now, let's focus on the first reading. Here are your instructions. These are your instructions. If you'd like to be eligible for a reading, step 1, share this broadcast if you haven't already yet. If you're tuned in on the 1111 movement group, you may actually have to click my profile and share it from my page. Step 2, stay in the chat. I'm going to give you a number. The 8th person to enter this number into the chat will be the first person that we do the first reading for. And then from there, we'll walk you through the reading. So with that said, I can see so many people here. I just want to give some quick shout outs. Shout out to Mary, shout out to Jean, shout out to Hong, shout out to Azikich, shout out to Jean, and shout out to Jennifer, Cassandra, Mark, and everybody else who happens to be in here in the 1111 movement group and other channels as well. So and shout out to Krisha, Hermeline, Dahlia, and AJ, one of our Patreon supporters. We got a few of our Patreon supporters already in here. All right, here are your instructions. Let's get right into that first reading. And again, let's keep an eye open for that Patreon support. So thank you again, everyone, for being here. This is your number. Be the 8th person to enter in this number into the chat. We have multiple chats, so I'm going to be looking at all of it. Just replying to the question, how do we share? If you're in the 1111 movement group, and I know it says like you can't share it because it's a private group, what you have to do is you have to click on my profile and go to my page and then share it from my wall. Does that make sense? Do you understand what I'm saying? Drop an 1111 if that makes sense. Hopefully you understand that. I know it's like a little bit of a caveat, but no worries either way. All right, here is your number. Be the 8th person to enter in this number into the chat, and that will be the first person that we do the reading for. But again, we do this as like a collective reading, and we've been doing this for a while, and it's really, really cool, and it's always like really inspiring. The number you're going to enter into the chat is the number, and don't enter this in right away. Don't enter it in more than once. Listen to your intuition. 8th person who enters it is the first person we do the reading for, and this is across multiple chats. Okay, cool. See you in the 1111s. Thanks, everyone. All right. The number you're going to enter is the number 555. Take a second here. Breathe. Everybody take a breath. Relax your nervous system. Without even looking, when you're ready. 555. Enter. Drop it into the chat. And as it's coming in through the chat, I'll keep an eye on things. I'll let you know, and we'll determine who the first person is. So allow me to focus here as the numbers are coming in across multiple channels. So it's not just the 1111 group. All right. Okay, cool. So the first person that we're going to do our first reading for is going to be for Peggy. Peggy Wood, Peggy Wood. We're going to do our first reading for Peggy Wood. So for everybody else, thank you for being here. Again, stick around. If this is your first time here, drop a 333 in the chat. And please connect to my Instagram if you're on Instagram. That's a great place just to be able to see a little bit more about what I do. And again, check out the Patreon. We're going to get right into this first reading. The next reading will be for the people who sign up to Patreon consecutively. So, and even when you sign up on Patreon, even if you want a private reading, that's an option too. So again, Patreon is a website where people can support artists with a monthly micro contribution. Our intentions during these broadcasts: provide awesome value through doing tarot readings to help inspire the community to be able to help shift consciousness, which is like what I do, and to be able to invite people to support on Patreon, and to invite people to be a part of the community that we're building of conscious creators and leaders. So if you're looking for, like, if you're a YouTuber, if you're a conscious media creator, if you're an entrepreneur, if you're just someone who wants to support, be sure to check out the Patreon. So while you're watching this, open up the Patreon in another page. It only takes 3 minutes to sign up. Our intention is to get 3 new Patreon signups during this broadcast. You can see in the corner there, we're currently at 163 towards our next milestone of 200. Thank you everyone for being here. I'll explain more about the Patreon as we go. And again, when you sign up onto the Patreon, yeah, you get one of these bad boys. A beautiful Lemurian Light Guardian Crystal that I handmade just for you. And these are like super ancient relics brought forth into the modern age. Or something like that. Okay, Peggy, let me know that you are ready in the comments. Type ready. And for everybody here, I want to invite you to be a part of this energy. And yeah, just thank you for being here. Again, I want to be able to just like share in the celebration. This is a party. Hang out. We're going to have a good time. So Peggy, thank you so much. For everybody here, thank you for your support. And again, if you are here, this reading is still for you. Okay, cool. All right, Peggy, confirm that you're ready in the chat. I'm going to invite you to be able to drop into a little meditative space. We're going to speak an intention, and that intention is show us what we need to see. And then from there, you're going to type now into the chat, and then we're going to pull the card for you. So I'm going to walk you through this. So for everybody here, take a moment here to just drop into your heart space. So for everybody here, I want you to practice adding your energy to the intention of this reading. And believe me, this is something really special. For those of you who are here for the first time, I want you to be able to experience this. And my goodness, if you're looking for more, check out the full moon meditation that we did recently. And you can direct message me if you want that, but it's on my YouTube channel. All right. Everybody here, close your eyes. And as you connect with your breath, just inviting you to be able to connect in this space of gratitude. As you breathe, allow your body to relax. Give your nervous system permission to relax. You are in a safe, comfortable, and exciting space. So feel this gratitude right now, everybody, of what it feels like to be connected with a team, a global team of people who are helping assist and accelerate the shift in consciousness, who are part of the shared story. Shifters, light workers, light guardians, united. As you're in this space of gratitude, Peggy, and for everybody here, I want you to focus on the intention of show me what I need to see, or show us what we need to see. Take a few breaths here, Peggy. Focus on that intention. Speak it with your heart. Speak it with your mind. Speak it with your words. And when you are ready, Peggy, type now into the chat and give me a few extra moments here as I charge the deck. And so welcome back, my friends, once again. We are here to truly transcend beyond illusions of the past that no longer are here to hold us back as we continue to accelerate in all the ways that will truly last. With love and compassion spreading our wings, we shall fly. We shall show each other that it is now time to see through the lies. As we pierce through the veil and continue to spread this love, let others know that this wisdom is here to serve from above, and within and without we will change the world. There is no doubt. So let us continue to rise together and show others what this is all about. And so as we hover the cards here, we will wait for Peggy to type now into the chat. And when they do, we shall pull the card and see what message the universe has. And so thank you again, my friends, for being a part of this story. Thank you again, my friends, for being a part of this rise to glory. And as Peggy types now into the chat, we shall split the deck. And like I said, we shall see what message the universe has. There's the first card that we got there. Let's take a look at it. Thank you again, Peggy. Thank you again, everyone. Thank you again. If this is your first time here, drop those 333s in the chat. If you're watching this on Facebook, take a note. If it starts glitching, jump over to YouTube. Sometimes it does that, and I'm really not sure why, and I can't really control it. But if it's glitching on Facebook, specifically in the 1111 group, jump over to YouTube. I posted a link in the comments there. And yeah, let's get right into this first reading. So, our first reading for Peggy, for everybody, for whoever's tuned into this, is Cups 9. So just showing you the image there. Give me 2 seconds here. We're going to open up the book. And what I do here is I'll read from you from the book, and then from there I extrapolate and I go into like a bit of like a free flow channeling to be able to bring forth more inspiration. And then from there we'll talk about it, and then yeah, and then from there we'll again just be able to like relate it to what we were doing here within this shift in consciousness. So thank you again, everyone, for being here. Let's get right into this first reading. And again, for those of you who are already just like, if you're enjoying the vibe and you're enjoying, again, like what am I doing here? Like, I'm not just doing tarot. We're building a team. We're building community. And again, you can support the vision of being able to help like create this global team of leaders, which we've been doing for like 10 years. And you can be a part of that. And you can create our vision of supporting fellow conscious entrepreneurs and becoming self-sustained. And you can be that entrepreneur. So go ahead and sign up for the Patreon. The next readings that we do will be for the following Patreon supporters as they sign up. Let's focus in on this reading, and let's get those first Patreon signups as soon as possible so that we can jump right into that next reading. That's the objective. We don't want to have to wait. Let's jump right into the next reading by getting those Patreon signups now. So stick around, tune into this. Let this be, again, just an introduction to like what you can kind of get from the value here, and sign up for the Patreon. The links are posted. They're in the description for this video. It only takes about 3 minutes. $5, $11 is $11 when you get the Lemurian and all the other perks. And that's like a sliding scale. So again, join as a leading member, join on our on-air broadcast, lots of cool stuff. I'll explain more as we go. Let's focus on this reading. All right, everyone. So, for those of you tuned in on Instagram, click the link in my bio to be able to tune in on YouTube. Taking a look at this card, I'm just going to explain it to you visually. If anything I say here at any points resonates with you, drop those 1111s down in the chat. And thank you again, everyone, so much just for being here. That's support in itself. So, Cups 9. So what do we have here? We have this visual image of literally 9 cups, kind of like strung like beads on a necklace, with like smaller ones on the side, big ones in the center, and this beautiful little mandala here in the middle. Do you guys like how I use my light guardian crystal as a pointing stick? It's a wand, right? So anyways, this is hovering above this horizon. You can see there's kind of like, there's a river kind of like flowing through the valley down below, and there's kind of like these kind of like angled cement blocks at the bottom. And again, just this beautiful color in the sky, kind of like a little bit of sun moving into the stars. And again, this beautiful mandala right at the center of the cup. So again, that's just me explaining like the literal visual image of it. And let's go into the description of the 9 of cups. So, okay, if there's a glitch, is the video glitched? Blah. Oh no. Is the entire, hold on. Oh no, I think the video might have paused or something. Give me an 1111 on YouTube if you can still hear me. I think it might have like paused on Facebook, and I don't know why. Oh no. Glitched. Yeah, okay, I think we just, yeah, that's weird. Why did it pause? Oh no. Oh no. Facebook, you suck. Why is it doing that? All right, how do I even unpause it? There's no option to pause it. All right, I apologize, everyone. This isn't, I swear it's not my fault. It's just the internet or something. So I'm going to try, let's see, just try closing some additional things here. Yeah, it's still working on YouTube. For those of you tuning in, okay, I'm just going to, I guess they can't hear me on Facebook. Oh no, I just want to make sure that Peggy can hear me before we dive into this. Apology, folks. All right, watch on YouTube. Okay, is it unpaused? Watch on. If it's unpaused, be sure to take that as a sign that you should watch on YouTube instead. Again, I can't control the fact that it's glitchy on Facebook. I don't know why it does that. I really don't. It's just how it is. So if it's super glitchy on Facebook, jump over to YouTube because it's not glitchy there. Yeah, it's still streaming on, again, I don't know why it glitches on Facebook. I really don't. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. I think it's literally just the fact that Facebook is just not very designed for this. So, all right, it looks like you can hear me now. Can you see me? Peggy, drop an 1111 in the chat if you can see and hear me okay. Again, I appreciate you guys' flexibility and patience. All right. For those of you on YouTube, you know what's up. All right. For those of you on YouTube, if anybody there wants to get that first Patreon sign up ready to go ahead and drop that in now. And again, for those of you on the 1111 Facebook group, drop those 1111s in the chat to confirm that you can hear me, and I'll get into this reading as we are ready to do so. Go. All right. Thank you for those of you tuning in on Twitch as well. Okay, you guys can hear me. All right, let's just go through. Let me know if it glitches at all. But again, if it glitches, go to my YouTube, like youtube.com/SkullBabylon. So if it glitches, again, you are fully responsible for going to YouTube, and I apologize, but that's just the way it is. All right, 9 of Cups. Let's get right into this reading. Thank you again, everyone, for your flexibility. Let's focus here. All right, dropping into this space. 9 of Cups. The image. In front of a deep blue sky above a landscape bathed in bright colors, a group of cups encircles a mandala. Meaning. Joy of being is the expression of a positive attitude towards life, with which man brings his inner world of emotions outside, as a result of turning inward, in which he recognizes the outer world within the essence of his being. His consciousness grows in the awareness that his composition of the world is an answer to inner turmoil. As one calls in the wood, it echoes accordingly. In the certainty of deep feeling that the experience of inner connection to all life brings, the individual is then able to develop deep trust. From the inner security that is experienced on a deeper level of existence, grows the easy, carefree feeling of a childlike nature, which makes possible an innocent and carefree experience of the world for the senses. The unhindered expression of joyous feeling for life not only fills one's being with an experience of intense joy, but makes it possible for his fellow creatures to participate in it also. I'm going to reread that. The unhindered expression of joyous feeling for life not only fills one's being with an experience of intense joy, but makes it possible for his fellow creatures to participate in it also. In experiencing the material world of form as a space of resonance for the mind, the individual consciousness recognizes itself as part of cosmic consciousness and becomes a conscious co-creator in the divine plan. As little as one should fall prey to the senses and become their slave, a forceful repression of feelings and their natural requirements becomes necessary. The focus is more about sensory experiences and the expression of feelings through which the soul gives outer form their shape. The world of feeling builds the cutting edge between mind and matter. He who recognizes the beauty in things awakens them to life. By awakening them to life, he approaches his own fulfillment. Astrological significance. Moon, Venus, novile aspects. Keywords. Feelings of wholeness, loving attachment, expression of life, affirming feelings, collective play, lightheartedness, nurturing awareness, sensuality, artistic expression. Traditional meaning: pleasure, zest for life, social gathering, human warmth, affection, positive attitude towards life, joy of being, carefreeness. Okay, cool. All right, just give me 1 second here. I just have to click a couple things, and I'll get more into, again, the detail of what it is that we have within this card. And again, as we're doing this card, let's get that first Patreon sign up as soon as possible so that we can get right into the second reading as soon as we are ready. And again, for those of you who may already be Patreon supporters, you can always upgrade your pledge if you choose to. And again, whatever works for you is equally appreciated. And so, talking more about this card, the 9 of Cups. Again, as I say anything, if it resonates with you, just drop those 1111s in the chat. I hope it's not lagging on Facebook. Again, if it is, jump over to YouTube. So, no worries. Thank you for your flexibility, and thank you for your patience and your presence. All right, 9 of Cups. So, for you, for Peggy and for everybody here who is a part of this broadcast, this is a very, very powerful card to be able to receive. And again, when we get these cards, it's not always, again, like I'm not doing this as like a fortune telling or like, again, like kind of like a psychic reading, but it's really more meant to be like a practical way for the cards to serve as a mirror for us to be able to see more of ourselves. And in this card, it really brings forth the importance of being able to tap into that childlike nature, that childlike experience of the world in which we can share our joy as a gift. And so for you, Peggy, and for everybody else here, let this be a card that really reminds you of why it is that you are here as a human. Yes, you are here to literally grow your soul, to expand your consciousness, and thus the consciousness of the universe expands through you. But you are here to be able to experience joy and to cultivate joy and to be able to share that joy. And so being the Nine of Cups, a cups kind of represents like the idea of something you can fill with passion, with abundance. And the idea of it being 9 kind of relates to this idea that it's like almost the completion of a full cycle. It's in a culmination of like all the events leading up to it that get you to where you are now in order to be able to step into that next chapter. And so for this card, again, it's really inviting us to be able to connect with our feelings on a deep level, to be able to become more aware of the magic all around us, to be able to use our feelings as a way to be able to guide us towards that which excites our spirit, and to listen to that. And to listen to that in a way that is actually like helping us step more into our purpose, more into our passions, more into our gifts that we have to share with the world. In experiencing the material world of form as a space of resonance for the mind, the individual consciousness recognizes its part as a part of cosmic consciousness and becomes a conscious co-creator of the divine plan. So in this idea, like we have to be able to bring this element of play into what we do. This idea of being carefree without being careless is a very important thing that I like to be able to talk about. And so again, with this, it's also being able to make sure that we don't become a slave to our senses. So our senses are something that get infatuated by things that we enjoy, but we have to make sure that we're kind of like being responsible with how we indulge and relate to the things that kind of make us into that joyful state in a way that's actually healthy, in a way that's responsible. Because you don't just want to be like, oh, well, it's like, what makes me happy? What makes me joyful? Like just like binge watching Netflix all day and eating lots of cake? Like, yeah, it does. But at the same time, you have to be responsible for the way in which you are relating to those senses, and to be able to nurture your senses in a healthy way, spending time out in nature, having meaningful discussions, eating good food, getting good sleep, getting good exercise. Simple little things like this are, again, a way to be able to help find more joy in the everyday things. If you're constantly stimulating yourself, kind of like seeking like that next thrill, that next rush, that next big thing, then it kind of like conditions you into this idea that you always need more and more and more. What you want to kind of be able to do, Peggy, and for everybody here, is to be able to get good at appreciating less and less and less. Drop an 1111 if that resonates with you, because again, I think that's a very important thing. Imagine how different your life would be if you were to appreciate things at a higher level, even if they are less. Because even when they are less, they are still plentiful. Even when they are less, they are still infinite. And so can you appreciate the fact that you are in a house with a roof? Can you appreciate the fact that you have water? Can you appreciate the fact that you have a bed to sleep in? All of these little things are incredibly important, and the more that we can again begin to like make sure that we're not like overindulging our senses, but we're actually honoring them, we're actually nurturing them, we're actually using them to be able to help us relate to the world around us as a constant teacher. And so again, we must be responsible, and yet we are also the co-creators of this reality, and it is through that which makes our heart sing that will help guide us to the elements within our life that are destined for us, that are there to serve us, that are there to ignite the spirit within us. And so with this card, Peggy, and for anybody here, let this be a card that really invites us to celebrate that which makes us sing, and to share our art, to share our passion, to share our joy, and to invite others to be able to celebrate that as well, to invite others to be able to be a part of that experience, to create a space of joy in which others can feel free and safe to drop into that space of joy as well. this is where it really gets into, again, the idea of leadership. And again, the idea that you become a conscious co-creator of the divine plan. You become a beacon of joy. You become a place in which others can help find themselves. As little as one should fall prey to the senses and become their slave, a forceful repression of feelings and their natural requirements becomes necessary. Rather, the focus is more on sensory experiences and expression of feelings through which the soul gives outer forms their shape. The world of feeling builds the cutting edge between mind and matter. He who recognizes the beauty in things awakens them to life. By awakening them to life, he approaches his own fulfillment. So again, practice recognizing the beauty in things. If this is a simple card, if this is a simple message for you, let it just be a simple message that invites you to be able to practice being grateful for that which you already are, and maybe even reflecting on the things that you forgot that you were grateful for, or maybe the things that you should be more grateful for. And when you practice being grateful for the things you already have, you'll be able to appreciate the little things that you receive even more and more. Become content, yet never stop striving, never stop seeking, never stop looking for that new edge of excitement and growth. Again, follow that which your curiosity leads you to. Allow yourself to be adventurous. Allow yourself to develop resilience. And again, allow yourself to find feelings of wholeness through your unique expression. Do the things that are you. Dance, sing, create art, share time with your family, share time with your loved ones, help your grandchildren grow up, whatever it is for you, and really bring in that element of collective play. That collective play of, again, being carefree without being careless, being childlike without being childish. We as adults are actually responsible for nurturing the child within ourselves. And that child within ourselves is immortal, is eternal. That is like the cosmic awe through which we can perceive this universe through. So wrapping up this card here, again, for everybody here, let this be a card that just reminds you the zest of life that is already here. That is already right now, that is already within this breath. And I invite you to just take a breath right here. And I want you to take this next breath and imagine it's like you're eating a piece of cake. I want you to take this next breath and just imagine it's like a delicious piece of cake. So just be like, And I even want you to like go like, Go ahead, make that noise. Again, just play, go ahead. Like, give yourself a chance to laugh. Yum, yum, yum. If you can find gratitude in the breath, you can find gratitude in everything. And that is the gift that you give to yourself. And that is the gift that you share with others when you live that gift for yourself. Traditional meaning, pleasure, zest for life, social gathering, human warmth, affection, positive attitude towards life, joy of being, carefreeness, nurturing awareness, sensuality, artistic expression, collective play, loving attachment, expression of life-affirming feelings. Very, very powerful card. Peggy, for everybody here, again, let this be a simple yet powerful reminder to practice bringing gratitude into the things that are already here, to practice seeking with curiosity, to see the awe and wonder, to nurture the childlike spirit within us, because that is what this world needs. If there are too many people who have grown into, their hearts have become very cold, and so we as individuals have to help warm hearts, and we start that by warming our own heart. We start that by, again, being able to nurture our own senses in a healthy way, by feeding ourselves with the things that excite us, and by being able to appreciate the things that already are, and by inviting others to be a part of that joyful expression and that expression of gratitude. So turn inwards, reflect on gratitude, and bring that joy outwards through your actions, through your art, through your love, through your connections, through your community. Very, very powerful card. Such an awesome card to be able to receive first time in the reading. If this resonates with you, drop those 1111s down in the chat. And yeah, Peggy, please feel free to let us know how this card resonates with you as well. Again, the 9 of Cups. Super, super cool card. Thank you again, everyone, for tuning in to this reading. For those of you who may be joining this, my name is Brendan. I'm a full-time conscious media creator. I've been creating conscious media for over 10 years. I'm an award-winning Canadian filmmaker. I'm professionally trained in media production, and I'm a director for a project known as Paradigm Shift Central. And this is about being able to create a global team of conscious creators and leaders. And if you're watching this broadcast, you're invited to be a part of this team. You're already a part of this team simply by being here. We have live broadcasts on Sundays at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for our team Synergy Circle broadcasts. We do full moon guided global meditations. And again, what we're doing here in this broadcast, we're providing tarot readings, but we're also inviting people to support on Patreon, where when you sign up on Patreon with a monthly micro contribution, you're supporting me, you're supporting the community and the value we're creating, and you're supporting yourself as well. It only takes about 3 minutes to sign up onto the Patreon. You can do that at patreon.com/Brendan Culleton. You can see the link on screen down below. You can type that into a separate browser as need be. And again, the people who sign up for the Patreon will be the next person that we do the reading for on air. But again, when we do it, you're not just getting the reading for yourself, you're sharing it with the collective and anybody else here who might need to hear that message. So thank you again to everyone for being here. And again, Peggy, and for anybody else, leave your comments down below about how this resonates with you. And if it's skipping on Facebook, be sure to jump over to the YouTube link as well. And we'll do our next reading as soon as we have that next Patreon person signed up to the broadcast. Our objective is to get 3 Patreon signups throughout this broadcast between now and before I have to leave for hockey, which is in about just under 2 hours. So again, that was our first reading for the Cups 9. And if you enjoyed that and you're just like, let's keep doing this, like let's keep this party going, like let's get some more inspiration flowing, then again, this is created through us as a community by being able to provide like the inspiration that we are cultivating here together. Okay, so for Peggy, if you would like me to be able to send you the image for that, please feel free to let me know. Or for anybody else who would like to be able to receive the image for that, plus like the description in the book, absolutely, please feel free to let me know. And again, thank you everybody here just for your gratitude and holding space. And again, reminder, like this is just practice too. Like this is literally just practice for me too, because we're doing things that like is like still new, doing things that we're still exploring. And again, the intention here is to be able to provide inspiration for the community, for the people who are tuned in here. So thank you again, Peggy, for joining us, and thank you again for your feedback, Peggy. And I hope there was still some inspiration for you to be able to receive through us being able to provide that message for you. And yeah, thank you again, everyone, for joining in. So with that said, we'll keep an eye on the Patreon signups to be able to do our next reading as soon as possible. And again, when you sign up onto the Patreon, you can get a beautiful Lemurian Light Guardian Crystal. And you can also get, again, access to me as a private conscious media creation coach, private videos within the community, and you're supporting a lot of the awesome stuff that we are doing as well. So for those of you who are still here in the chat, please feel free to drop a 333 in the comments. And again, as soon as we have that next Patreon sign up ready to go, then we will commence the next broadcast, the next reading within the broadcast. Well, you can like see the lights behind me on those of you tuning in on the Instagram. For those of you tuning in on the Instagram, please feel free to leave your comments down below and click the link on my bio to be able to tune in there. Thank you again to those of you tuned in on YouTube. We got our Patreon supporters. We got Mark tuned in. Thank you, Red Convoy, Morphic Crystal. Thank you for joining as well. She-Wolf, Tony, thank you for joining. And for anybody else who is tuned into this broadcast. And yeah, thank you again, everyone, just for being able to hold space and support what it is that we are doing here. And again, it's tarot reading. It's much more than that. Again, it's community building. It's inspiration. So, and with that said, we do have our first Patreon sign up for this broadcast. So thank you too much to Ash Fiza. If I'm pronouncing that correctly, thank you so much for adding your support to the Patreon at the $5 level. Super, super, super appreciated. And let me know where you are in the chat, and we will get right into that next reading as soon as possible. And again, that reading is just going to be able to get that reading for the entire community as well. So thank you again, everyone. Thank you, Peggy, for being the first person that we did the reading for. And thank you thank you for all of us for being here together as a team. So give me 2 seconds here, and everybody here, let's give a quick thank you to Ash Fiza, ASHFIZA. Thank you so much, Ash, for adding your support. And again, let me just take 2 seconds here to be able to update the on-screen information there. And Ash Fiza. And and again, Ash, let me know where you are in the chat to be able to correspond this next reading for you as we do it, because I'll need to be able to make sure that you're ready for this. So I believe that's Tash. That's you. Okay, sweet, awesome. Okay, Tash, so let's do this reading together. And again, we're gonna keep doing as many readings as we can over the next 90 minutes. And again, for people as they sign up for the Patreon, we'll do some more readings for the next people who sign up for the Patreon. And Tash, let me know, you have the choice between the Lightworker Oracle deck or the Ananda Tarot deck, whichever one you would prefer. So let me know, Tash, if you would like the Lightworker Oracle deck or the Ananda Tarot deck. So obviously this one's an Oracle deck. It's a little bit different, and the messages in it are a little bit different, but again, we do our best to be able to just continue to provide cool messages and inspiring insight, and again, for us to be able to receive insight and inspiration from what is needed to be heard at this moment. And again, for anybody here, reminder that you being here is still a chance for you to be able to just receive the insights of the cards that we are pulling and the messages that we are sharing. So Tash, let me know if you would like the Ananda Tarot deck or the Lightworker Oracle deck. I prefer that you choose, so let me know, and then we'll go from there. And thank you again, everyone. And again, we'll do we'll keep an eye on the Patreon for additional readings. And again, let's just give a huge thank you to Tash. So you can put Tash, T-A-S-H. All right. So again, Tash, just again to be clear, Tash, with the readings that we do, if we have the intention of, again, just kind of show us what we need to see. And again, in that sense, if there's particular advice that you're looking on a situation, I would just encourage you to just be open to what comes through the cards. Though again, what I don't do psychic readings. I don't do, again, fortune telling. That's not quite what exactly I'm offering through these readings here. But if you would still like to be able to go through with this reading, then absolutely, we can see what message comes through. And again, thank you everyone for holding space. So Tash, Lightworker Oracle deck or Ananda Tarot deck. For those of you tuned in on Instagram, go ahead and click a link in my bio to be able to tune in on Instagram. All right, AJ, welcome back, dude. All right, so Tash, let me know which deck you would prefer, and then from there we'll go into it. And again, and with the Patreon, to confirm, the Patreon, so again, Tash, to be honest, Tash, if you're looking for something very specific related to relationship advice, we can try relating it back to that. Though honestly, I really can't promise, because again, that might be something that maybe somebody else would be more capable of assisting you with. Again, I kind of want to just be able to be clear on what I can provide, without kind of promising that I can help with something specific to relationship advice. So again, Tash, I need you to choose, which one do you prefer, the Lightworker Oracle deck or the Ananda Tarot deck? And again, with the Patreon, the contributions process on the 1st of February, the 1st of each month. So again, for anybody who's signing up, you can sign up early and the contributions will process later on. So whatever works for you. And again, Tash, Lightworker Oracle deck or Ananda Tarot deck, whichever one works. Awesome. All right, so just standing by to be able to confirm. Thank you, Margot, for joining in and for leaving your kind comments in the chat. And thank you again to anybody who's tuned in on the 1111 group. I know it's glitchy, and sometimes the comments don't always come through, but if it is glitchy, please feel free to be able to join in on YouTube as well. All right. Okay, the Ananda Tarot deck. All right, cool. Let's do that one. All right, we'll see. Again, it's very possible that a card could come through that does relate to something that it is that you're seeking. At that point, it's really kind of, again, it's leaving it up to the universe. Yeah, see, again, Tash, I want to be clear, what you're asking isn't really quite what I'm offering. So I don't know if this is going to be exactly what it is that you're seeking here. Because again, what I'm doing is not providing specifically psychic advice or relationship advice or fortune telling advice. That's not really what I'm offering. And again, making that clear at the beginning is really important. So I want you to be able to understand that. if you want to go through with this anyways, we can try going through with it. There are various cards in here that relate to relationship stuff. It's possible that it might come up, but again, just to be clear, like this may not be quite what you're seeking, but I can do my best to be able to relate it back to you what it is that you're asking. Because again, the intention that we have is the intention of simply show us what we need to see. That's the intention we have. So again, I know like different readers have different styles, but again, that's the style that I work with. So okay, cool. Whatever comes through, I'm happy with. All right, Tash, I appreciate that. Thank you for understanding, and again, thank you for adding your support. All right, everybody, let's get ready for this next reading. So all right, AJ has a good feeling. All right, and again, I'll do my best to kind of relate it back to relationship stuff, knowing that that's your intention. But again, we don't usually like ask people to be like, oh, like give me a reading about business, or give me a reading about should I move to California or something like that. So again, we try to keep it very kind of like open in that space as well. So all right, so Tash, and for everybody here, let's get ready for this next reading. And again, let's get some more Patreon signups as we go. And again, the next reading will be for the next person who signs up onto the Patreon. And thank you again, everyone, for being here and for adding your presence and adding your support. And let's see what this next reading holds, not just for Tash, but for anybody who happens to be tuned in right now. So Tash, confirm for me that you're ready in the chat. And then for everybody here, just want to be able to invite you to drop into that heart space and just take a moment here to be able to connect with your breath. So Tash, just confirm for me that you're ready, and then we will go through with this next reading. So awesome. All right. All right, so for everybody here, Tash, and for all the people tuned in, perfect. Tash is ready. Thank you again, everyone, for joining in. We're going to do this next reading for Tash. Additional readings we'll do as people sign up for the Patreon. And again, our intention here is to be able to provide insight, inspiration, and clarity for our journey as individuals, as light workers, as light guardians. So, all right. Yo, Valis, thanks for joining in. Okay. Tash, I invite you to just be able to close your eyes if you choose. And put your hand on your chest if you choose, and just be able to connect with this heart space. Just take a moment here to be able to connect with your breath. And again, just be able to bring yourself into this space of gratitude. And just feeling your connection in the presence of people who are passionate about being able to help change the world, who are passionate about being able to help grow, to be able to help spread our light, to be able to help go through the journeys that we have at hand. So just give yourself a moment here to connect with that space of gratitude. And Tash, as you're in that space of gratitude, I want you to be able to focus on the intention of show me what I need to see. And speak that with your heart, speak it with your mind, speak it with your words. When you're ready, Tash, take a couple more breaths here and type now into the chat. I'll just take a moment here to be able to charge the deck. And so as we come together once again within this circle, my friends, let us remind ourselves that this is just practice within the lessons that never truly end. For one lifetime to the next, we will continue to grow. We will continue to learn all the many ways in which we can let go. And so as Tash says now within the chat, we shall split the deck and see what message the universe has. All right, so let's see what we got. All right, so the card that we have pulled for Tash, our newest Patreon supporter, thank you so much, Tash, for adding your support on the Patreon, is Flames 3. So give me 2 seconds here as we open up the book. And again, when we do this here, the way how we do it is I'll read from the book and then I'll go into more detail, just to be able to, again, extrapolate on the message, to be able to provide some additional insight and inspiration to be able to assist you. And yeah, and like honestly, like Tash, like I'll give you like the opportunity, if you're just like, hey, this wasn't quite what I wanted, like you're welcome to like cancel your Patreon. Like, that's because I want it to be fair. I want it to be like, again, I want you to be able to receive what you're seeking. And yeah, and maybe if this message isn't quite where you're seeking, I hope this message still reaches others, and we'll do the best to just communicate this to the entire community. So Tash, if you feel like you want to cancel your Patreon after, totally cool. Or if you feel like you want to do another reading later on, just let me know. We'll do what we can. You're what's the proper word? Making sure that you're happy is important. That's all I want to say. And I say that for everybody here. So thank you again, everyone. All right, so looking at this image here, the Three of Flames. For those of you on Instagram, click the link in my bio, tune in on YouTube. We have three pillars of light shining up into the sky, and these very, very beautiful, like rich, kind of like pinkish, peachish colors. And you can see the stars up above, and again, just like some valleys and trees down below, and a big light in the middle with two adjacent lights on the side. So again, that's just a very literal, obviously, explanation there. There's not too much there to that image other than what I just explained. So again, let's listen to the message within the book, and then we'll go into it a little bit further. And again, I'll do my best to extrapolate this to the best as possible, because I got some feedback before. Apparently Peggy wasn't very impressed with my reading, so I have to do better. So all right, okay. Dance, Brendan, dance. Thanks, everyone. I'm trying my best, believe me. All right. Tash, thank you for everybody here. Shh, drop into that space. Three of Flames. The image. From the deep blue of a mystical landscape, three mighty streams of white light arise to proclaim the power of light over darkness. Meaning, the apparent contradictions that are given by combining various partial aspects of material illusion present an incomplete picture of reality. Through the dynamics of everlasting change, nature's intelligence forms a harmonious balance between the different manifestations of creation. This creates a world of diversity out of the world of opposites, constantly opening new paths. Buds do not allow themselves to be forced to bloom. Everything needs its proper time to conform to natural conditions in order to unfold the way it should. By trusting in the perfection of creation, man gains deeper insight into the mystery of life. I'll reread that. By trusting in the perfection of creation, man gains deeper insight into the mystery of life. Our own horizon broadens by trusting our inner strength that connects our inner self with the universal creative power. In being aware of this connection, man gains self-confidence, which creates the condition for being sincere and acting accordingly. Goodwill is the best prerequisite for good deeds. I'll reread that part. In being aware of this connection, man gains self-confidence, which creates the condition for being sincere and acting accordingly. Goodwill is the best prerequisite for good deeds. Astrological significance: Sun, Mercury, trine aspect. Keywords: balance, coordination, harmony, venturing forth, one with nature, higher instinct, development, integration, self-confidence, body language. Traditional meaning: virtuosity, confidence, balance, prudence, grace, naturalness, new solutions. Okay. Well, this card is not a very super complex card, so I'm gonna do my best to be able to extrapolate a message out of this, and again, just to be able to kind of relate this back to, again, I know Tash is kind of looking for some insight to be able to help assist them. And again, and I think what I get out of this is the idea that it says here, buds do not allow themselves to be forced to bloom. Everything needs its proper time to conform to natural conditions in order to unfold the way it should. So with this card, it really invites us to be able to honor the patience that is involved with the natural way in which not only nature grows, but that we grow as well. And it's common for us to want to be able to, again, kind of like get our pillars growing, to be able to shine our light, to be able to ignite our flame. And yet we have to remember that our flame is something that is slowly cultivated over time. The bamboo tree does not grow until, like, what is it, like, you like have, how many people have heard about this, the idea that the work that we put into ourselves is something that is intended to be gradual, and the growth will not always be evident on the surface until later down the road. But don't let that stop you from watering yourself every single day. The bamboo tree literally sits in the earth for like 5 years. I think it's longer than that. And you have to water it every single day. And it's not until later on in those 5 years that it literally grows like 90 feet within 3 weeks. And so, like, that bamboo tree, like, when was it growing? Was it growing just within those 3 weeks, or was it growing over the course of those 5 years? And so for you, Tash, and for everybody else listening to this, let this be a simple reminder that just invites us to be able to be patient with our path, to be patient with the way in which we ourselves are growing. We forget how much we are nature. We think that we're just like humans. We think that we're just kind of like our own beast, where we have like our own laws that apply to us. And yet when we look at nature again, we can understand the idea that it is through the process of time, it is through the process of patience, that things not only grow, but things also become incredibly stable, that things can become durable, that the roots of the tree will become even more enriched with the soil of the darkness. And so again, with this card, it is inviting us to be able to seek balance within ourselves throughout the challenges that may approach us, instead of like walking our path and being like, I'm gonna ignite my flame, I'm gonna do this, and then the universe is like, oh, let's just take that rug out from underneath you and just kind of like let you land on your face so that we can humble you, so that we can remind you of the importance of patience, so that we can teach you how to get back up. And so, Tash, I just wanted to be able to, again, kind of like go back to specifically what you were talking about, because again, I want to be able to serve you as best as I can. And you're asking about relationship advice, whether or not you should, like, I guess to my understanding is like choose to stay in a relationship. And I think what's important is, like, when we're looking at those relationships, we really have to ask, how is this relationship serving me? And is it serving me in a way that is, again, nurturing my soul? Or is it just kind of like teaching me about how to be able to like be more flexible and be able to like expand my boundaries and to be able to, again, just kind of like become what somebody else wants me to be? So there's a difference with love. There's different ways of being able to love, and you don't want to compromise who you are in order to be able to become what someone wants you to be. The people who value you will value you for who you are, and they will value you for the fact that you are a work in progress. No relationship is perfect, and obviously communication is an incredibly important thing. So again, with you kind of like just like seeking a little bit of advice, I think again, like, the idea of being able to invite patience is something that, know that even though it may be discomforting, that's actually like helping give you something incredibly valuable that will be a gift for later on down the road. You literally cannot go throughout this life if you have not learned patience. And so for you, Tash, this may be a point within your journey where patience is kind of being forced on you, and you don't really have any other choice, because if you feel like you lack patience, and if it was entirely up for your free will, then maybe you would just constantly do something, you would constantly be avoiding patience. And so perhaps the fact that patience is something that is required right now is, again, something that you can actually invite into you from a place of optimism. Even if you're not entirely certain, even if you don't exactly know what's around the corner, if you can invite yourself to be able to trust and invite yourself to be able to see the long game, to be able to see the growth that is going to play out over the long run, let it be one that invites you to connect and honor more of your nature. Let it be one that allows you to just be able to practice trusting this process. Let it be one that invites you to be able to integrate more self-confidence in who you are. And so for you, Tash, again, like, I don't want to be able to tell you what you should or shouldn't do, but what I'm encouraging you to do is to, again, do what's going to serve yourself. And it's okay to be able to like say no to certain things. It's okay to say no to a relationship, because saying no to a relationship may also be saying yes to you. So you really have to look at the dynamics of the relationship, and if anything, look at this person and kind of like figure out like if they kind of like meet what you are looking for in terms of your standards. Is this person honest? Is this person present? Is this person compassionate? Is this person loyal? These are like things that should be kind of on a pyramid, like at the base of your pyramid. Okay, we'll get into a little bit of relationship advice, I guess, right? Like that's what you guys want, right? So at the base of your pyramid, you should have basically like standards for what you want from people in your tribe. And then from there, it kind of becomes like more and more specific. So at the bottom of your pyramid, that's where you should have things like, okay, I want to surround myself with people who like value my worth, for people who are loyal, for people who are present, for people who listen, for people who communicate. And then it kind of goes up and up and up. And then like on the next layers, again, it might be something more specific. People who share common visions, common things of interest, people who are artistic, people who have like, again, like, you know, kind of like visions for the future that align with mine. And then it kind of might get more and more specific and more niche, you know, and it's like maybe people who are like, again, kind of like, I don't know, like it depends on you, but again, it's like people who are interested in Magic the Gathering or something like that. That's like top of the pyramid for some people, I assume. So, but again, Tash, without me even trying to say like this is or isn't relationship advice, I think in any situation, it's always important to be able to take a moment to step back, to be able to reflect on what you are getting out of the relationship, and to understand that the relationship is going to help you grow no matter what. And I'll say this to you: whatever choice you make will be meaningful, and it's up to you to choose which choice you will make. And don't be afraid to step out of a relationship, because if it's meant for you, you'll know, and it will work out. And it may like be one of those things where you split up and come back again later type thing. But if you say no to one relationship, you're also saying yes to another one that's going to align with you in a more synced way, in a way that's more reflective of your values. So don't stay in a relationship because you're afraid of finding something else. As soon as you say no to that relationship, if you feel like it's not serving you, you're also saying yes to yourself, and you're saying yes to your worth, and you're saying yes to your values. And again, I want you to know that that in itself is a very courageous thing to be able to do. Even if that relationship might have been providing comfort, and it might have been providing amenities, and it might have been providing, you know, like excitement and joy, and sometimes maybe superficial stuff. But again, is it serving your soul? Is it helping you on your journey towards the things that are important to you? It may be fun, but is it serving? It may be satisfying, but is it serving? And know that when you take the time to just be able to focus on yourself, that next relationship that you're looking for is already there. It already exists. And the only work that you have to do is to work on yourself. And when you work on yourself, you shift yourself into a vibration where that relationship, that next relationship, will attract to you. It will show up for you. And that's basically how it works. But at the same time, you're welcome to go chase it. And if you do go chase it, you're going to find people that are a reflection of yourself. And so if you don't truly love yourself, you're going to find people who won't truly love you. Or at least they won't value you in the way that you need in order to be able to love more of yourself. But do not put that expectation on others. Do not put the idea that like, oh, in order to be passionate, I need someone to be passionate towards me. You're throwing you're giving your power away if you do that. But again, I want you to be able to like really reflect on the idea of like, how would it feel if I was just like take the next like 3 months to take a dating break and to really just focus on myself? How would that feel? And invite yourself to actually get excited about that idea, even if it's a little bit daunting, even if it has a degree of uncertainty, even if it's maybe something that you haven't done in a really long time. And again, out of that, you are choosing to step into a place of courage. You're choosing to step into a place of love. You're choosing to invest in yourself. So invest in yourself. is the first important thing to do. Honestly, like, the choice of whether you should or shouldn't leave a relationship should really be secondary to you taking the time that you need for yourself, you investing in yourself. And as you take time for yourself, the answer will become clear. And if that person doesn't like fully kind of like align with your vibrational frequency, you'll know. And if they do, you'll know. And it really becomes like an intuitive feeling. So again, how that relates to the card, maybe it does, maybe it doesn't. Again, I'm just trying to do my best to be able to serve as best as I can. And Tash, please feel free to drop some 1111s. And for anybody else, I don't know, is this resonating with you? You tell me. You're tuned into live relationship advice with Dr. Wolf. God, is that what this is? So, but no, talking about relationship advice is actually something that I'm more than happy to be able to do. And there's plenty of cards in here that relate to it. And I've got plenty of experience with the relationship advice and stuff like that. And again, I'm not an expert by no means, but from my own experience, again, it's about learning how to love in deeper ways. And one of the great ways of how I've learned to love over the years, and let me just take a sip of water real quick. The deep love that you want to be able to cultivate is the love where you want the best for the other person, whether or not it involves you. So even if you choose to not be in a relationship with someone, try not to do it out of animosity. Try to actually do it from a place of like actually being like, actually, this is what's best for both of us. You know, like, are we just kind of licking each other's wounds? Are we just distracting ourselves from the work, the inner work that we need to do and the dreams that we're pursuing? And if that's the case, you need to be able to be willing to make that choice. That may not be the easy choice, but it will be a good choice. And so again, I say this is actually something really powerful. This can relate to anything. Choose the harder choice. Try it. Even just in your mind, see what that would feel like. Feel what the harder choice is, and knowing that the harder choice will actually yield more growth, because it will yield more opportunity for like reflection and reconstruction. And you may kind of like turn yourself into a pile of mush, but then you'll recalibrate yourself and emerge as a beautiful butterfly. You deserve the love that you are. You deserve to be treated wholly as the person that you are. And you want someone who can celebrate that. And maybe you're still discovering who that is. And if you feel like you are, and if you feel like this other person isn't fully supporting you in that, and maybe they're holding you back or whatever it is, give yourself that space, knowing that in the process of doing that, you're also saying yes to that next relationship that will serve you even better. So again, Tash, if you're still here, drop those 1111s in the comment if this resonates with you, or just maybe it doesn't, but please feel free to leave any sort of comments, because I haven't seen Tash. If you're still there, I just want to be able to confirm. I like how other people are just like, yeah, relationship advice, this is great. So hey, like I said, it's not always just for the one person doing the reading, it's for whoever happens to be tuned in right now. But again, love is a very, very powerful way for us to be able to see more parts of ourselves and to see who we are, and to see how we show up. And I think it's a beautiful thing when we show up, again, sometimes in the ways that may not feel fun, but ultimately are also courageous and important for our growth. So anybody else, if this resonates with you, please feel free to leave a comment down below. Thank you for Legendary Clouds. Your comment in the Twitch chat says, good advice. It also relates to general non-romantic relationships too. Absolutely 100%. So sweet. All right, so we're gonna do our next reading, and we're just gonna not do a reading, and we're just gonna talk about polyamory. No, I'm just joking. So someone sign up to my Patreon and I'll talk about polyamory if you want. I could. I'll do whatever it takes. But again, Tash, thank you so much. And again, we can chat more. Like, there's more to this, but again, going back to this card, the reason we pulled this card, again, I think this card's not a super in-depth card, but it's reminding us that like our flame is something that will grow over time. Our branches are something that grow over time. We really need to be patient, and the growth comes more succinctly, like more kind of like just like consistently when we practice being in harmony. Because when we're in that place of homeostasis, that's where the healing takes place. That's where the natural growth takes place. Like, it's hard for something to grow when it's constantly being shook and shaken and chaos and stuff like that. Like, that can be a form of growth. But in the place of harmony, you know, that's where things grow. So, all right. So again, keywords in this card, which has nothing to do with relationships, but hey, we made it work. Well, it does. It has to do with your relationship with yourself. And that's the most important thing. The person you should marry. Do you know who you should marry? The person you should marry is yourself. It's true. Put a ring on it, boys and girls. So, all right. Tash, if you're there, I don't know if you are. Leave a comment. Let me know if anybody else enjoyed that message. Please feel free to let me know. And again, let's get that next Patreon sign up ready to go so we can jump right into our next reading. I don't want to be able to keep people waiting, and the sooner we get that, the sooner we can get into the next reading. And again, I'll do my best. Legendary says, can you explain tarot cards for me, because I don't really understand them? Tarot cards, yeah, simply put, tarot, and let me just finish here. So again, with this card, keywords: balance, coordination, harmony, venturing forth, one with nature, higher insight, development, integration, self-confidence, body language, confidence, balance, prudence, grace, naturalness, movement, new solution. So again, I think this card really encourages us to be able to like see things in a slightly different way, open up those slightly new windows, to see patience as growth, to see harmony as essential, and again, to be able to see the integration of our own self-awareness as being something that's going to serve our confidence, serve our overall image, and allow us to just feed that back into the loop of this hyperdelic reality, which is going to bring us back the value that we are. So yeah, new movement, new solution. So 3 of flames, let's ignite our flames by being very, very balanced and patient with ourselves. So hold it in both hands. All right. If this resonates for you, drop an 1111 in the chat, please. Your support is super appreciated. Legendary Clouds was just asking, can you explain tarot cards for me? Okay, very simply put, tarot cards are like symbols and messages that you can use in different ways, but essentially when I use them, when many people use them, it serves as a way for us to be able to kind of like receive a message. And then when we have an intention and we like pull a card, it allows that message to be like something that we're meant to hear at that point, if that makes sense. So yeah, that's basically what I do when I use the tarot cards. Again, it's just a way for us to be able to receive a message from the universe, to be able to help us support us. All right, let's take a look here. All right, team. I'm not exactly sure if Tash is still here. I don't know. I failed you. No. Wah, wah, wah. Watch me like facepalm live on air. Team, I hope you're enjoying this. All right. Man, this has been a challenging day. Peggy did not like my first reading. The first reading we did, which I thought was pretty cool. She was, you know what she said? I'll tell you. And I'm sharing you this because I want you to understand what I go through when I do these broadcasts sometimes. There are some people who get like really nasty. But basically, and I take it as feedback, she says, I can read the description for myself. There was no quote unquote reading. And then as I was like holding my composure live on air, I read that and I was just like, oh, I guess I should just quit now. No one like this is the okay, I'll just stop. I'm not do I even matter anymore? So but hey, if you still love me, drop a 999 in the chat, because again, this is all just practice and I appreciate everybody holding space. And Peggy, if you're still listening to this, honestly, I appreciate your feedback. Like, it doesn't, like, again, it helps me like get more clarity and build resilience. And again, everyone's kind of got their own style, and me sharing my style is a way to invite you to share your style. And I'm sure Peggy's got her own style, and that's awesome. And this is a style that I'm familiar with, and I've been doing this, and a lot of people give like awesome like compliments and feedback. So there's obviously something that I'm doing right there. But hey, you know what? This is a message for everyone. There's a million people out there who don't like you, but there's 1,000 people who do. Focus your energy on those 1,000 people. That's like the secret to life right there. So, all right, team. Thanks team. Aloha to everyone who may be joining into this. Welcome to the party. Again, we're going to do some more tarot readings as soon as we have a new Patreon supporter signed up. Sign up at patreon.com/Brendan Culleton. Thank you, Tash, for being our recent Patreon supporter and for allowing me to be able to try and provide some relationship advice. For those of you still tuned in on the 1111 movement group, please feel free to leave your comments down below, though I feel like it's glitched out and nobody's tuned in there anymore. Keeps happening. I don't know why. For those of you who are joining for the first time, I do not answer questions quite from the chat. I am not a psychic reader or fortune teller. What we do is we work with the cards to be able to receive a message of inspiration. And again, for people who would like to be able to work with us in that way, sign up onto the Patreon and you can get a beautiful Lemurian Light Guardian Crystal, which again is one of the handmade items that we make. And again, you can also get all sorts of other cool perks within the community. So I'm going to restart the Instagram feed in 1 second. And again, team, as soon as we get that next Patreon sign up ready to go, we will get right into our next reading. And yeah, like, again, like I've been building up a lot of resilience over the past couple days because there are some times when we do this broadcast and we get like people signed up like boom, 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 boom right away. The last 2 broadcasts that I've done, there haven't been any new signups. Other than the one that we just got from Tash. So thank you again, Tash. And I know a lot of people here who are tuned in, you're like, yo, Brendan, like, you're fucking awesome, dude. And like, thank you so much for what you do. And I appreciate people who say that and to let me know, like, again, like what the value is that you're receiving from this. And again, you know, like with us doing this, like this is just practice. This is just play. And I appreciate everybody holding space for this. So let's get those more Patreon supporters signed up. Again, when you sign up onto the Patreon, you can get access to me as a conscious media creation coach to support you. You can be able to join as a leading member within our Paradigm Shifts community. And hey, did Bonnie share? Oh, Bonnie shared my video on Instagram, not the feed. So, all right, team. Let's get that next Patreon sign up as soon as we can. Again, our intentions for this broadcast are to keep doing tarot readings and to invite people to support on Patreon, which allows me to be able to buy a UFO. No, I'm just joking. It allows me to keep doing more work for the community that I do as my full-time commitments for the community. And yeah, thank you again so much. So yeah, Legendary Clouds, I appreciate you asking and I appreciate you hanging out, and especially if this is your first time. Thank you so much for joining. And please feel free to check out my Patreon. You can connect with my Instagram there. And yeah, all right, team. So we've currently got 1 hour on the clock before I have to head out to hockey. So let's get those new Patreon signups coming in. Our objective is to get at least 2 or 3 new Patreon signups during this broadcast. And again, I would love to do the Lightworker Oracle reading for the next person who signs up. So let's get that next Patreon sign up as soon as we can. And we will do the next reading for not just you, but the entire community. All right. Thank you to Shika. Thank you to Margot. Thank you to Ryan. Thank you to Not Having This. Thank you to Mark, our Patreon supporters, She Wolf, Red Convoy. To me, the first one was a good message. Thank you, Red Convoy. Yeah, see, again, I don't even if Peggy didn't like it, I'm glad you did. So thank you, Peggy. I appreciate you. All right. All right, thank you, team. Let's get right into that next reading as soon as we can. So again, for everybody here, try not to just like wait until somebody else signs up. If you feel like you're in a position to sign up, meaning if you have, if you want to sign up at the $5 level, that's totally cool. If you want to sign up at the $11 level, that is equally appreciated. And you can sign up at the levels higher than that as well. So if you're able to afford an extra coffee at Starbucks a month, then theoretically you can sign up for the Patreon. Do you love me as much as you love Starbucks coffee? Don't answer that. So, all right. Again, for those of you who are here, the next reading we will do as soon as we have someone sign up for the Patreon. If any of the Patreon supporters want to update their Patreon pledge, you can do that too. And we will also do a reading for the collective. Apparently, we've got 40 people tuned in right now. I don't trust the numbers on Facebook anymore because it's super glitch. So Legendary, if you sign up onto the Patreon, I can either do it for you live on air or I can do it for you private. If you do sign up for the Patreon and you do want me to do it private for you, I could still even just do one on air anyways, just to keep the show going. And then this is kind of a special offer, but then I could still do like a private one for you. That's like not usually something that I offer, but again, whatever it takes. But again, legendary, understand though that like what I'm asking for is for people to sign up for the Patreon with the intention to keep contributing. So if you're like, I know you're new, right? And I appreciate you asking, and I appreciate you just like being open to this. But if you're not in a position where you're just like, hey, like, okay, this is something that I want to support ongoing, then just decide based on that. Because like ideally we want people to keep supporting ongoing, opposed to people who will sign up and then like, you know, delete their pledge a day later or something like that. Because theoretically people can do that, right? People can like sign up to the Patreon and then delete their pledge a day later, and it won't cost them anything, and they'll get a reading out of it. So for anybody here who wants to be able to like take advantage of my generosity, please go ahead and do that, and karma will catch you. I don't know. It sounds like a threat, so but seriously, it does work that way. Karma kind of plays out that way. But again, I appreciate everybody hanging out here and just being able to be here as a community. Yo, Kyle, thanks for joining in. All right, team. Again, as soon as we have that new Patreon supporter signed up, we will get right into our next reading. I'm going to restart the broadcast on Instagram in the next couple minutes. All right. Okay. All right, team. If you're like planning on signing up to the Patreon in the future, even please feel free to leave a message below. And again, like just dropping in. I know we were getting a little bit silly, and I don't want you to think that yes, like that's always what we're in, because again, our intention here is to be able to play, but to be able to provide inspiration and to really be able to support each other as a team. And if you are here again, I just want to be able to say thank you. Thank you for being here as a member of the community. And thank you everyone who shares their feedback. Thank you everyone who expresses their gratitude. A lot of people, again, they're just like, yo, Brendan, I've been following you for like X number of years, and the amount of work that you put into your stuff is really inspiring. And it's an awesome way for me to be able to get to like know more about myself. All right. Okay, this is interesting because again, I think the feed on, yeah, I think the feed in the 1111 movement group just like stops itself. So I think I'm going to restart it there. I know some of you enjoy my silliness. I appreciate that. Okay, team. All right, looks like, did we get that new Patreon? Okay, Cloud. Awesome. Cloud, thank you so much for signing up. Cloud, that's so cool. All right, Cloud says my commitment needs to be earned first. All right, Cloud, I shall rise to that challenge to the best of my ability. And again, if you are looking for like more value in what I do, I encourage you to check out the videos on my Patreon and like the full moon meditations and lots of cool stuff there. So Cloud, thank you for adding your support. I'll add your information as a thank you on screen, and let me know which deck you would prefer. You can choose the Lightworker Oracle deck or the Ananda Tarot deck. And again, the context of what we're doing here, again, it's like also about being able to help like support people as people who are passionate about helping change the world, who are helping shift consciousness. So Cloud, I know this may be a bit new to you, but again, I really applaud you for being able to just like say like, yeah, I'll check this out. I'll try it out. And again, like if it's not for you, then that's okay. All right, so what's the difference? The Ananda Tarot deck, those are the last two ones that we did. It kind of has like more of like a symbolic style. This one can get like very specific. This one can kind of like hit upon some like very particular themes, and this is an oracle deck, so it's like made by someone individually. Whereas the tarot deck is kind of like an ancient thing. You want the oracle deck. All right, good choice. The oracle deck is like really cool, and I really enjoy because like the messages are like pretty straightforward, whereas the Ananda can kind of be like a little like symbolic. All right, give me 2 seconds here. I'm just restarting the broadcast on Instagram. And again, as we're doing this, for anybody else here, please, let's work on getting some other Patreon signups going as we do this one so that we can get in at least one more, because I do have to leave for hockey at about 10 p.m. Make sure I leave for hockey, okay? Like, don't just be like, hey, Brendan, like, whoops. Oh, crap, I missed my game. For those of you tuning in on Instagram, click the link in my bio. We're just about to get into our next reading. And you can join in on YouTube by clicking the link in my bio. So for everybody here, let's give a nice round, give a nice thank you to Cloud. Cloud's actually tuned in on Twitch. I think they're the only person watching on Twitch right now. I'm not very popular on Twitch, but I still broadcast there. So, but hey, every now and then someone might reshare my feed, and you never know. This could be the day when we all go viral. So, all right. Just checking the feeds here. Okay, I'm just gonna restart this. Feed in the 1111 movement group. So Cloud, just give me 2 seconds here, and we'll get right into this reading. So everybody here, just give a nice thank you for Cloud, who signed up, who again is tuning in for the first time. All right, I'm going to share this into the 1111 movement group, and then we're gonna get right into this next reading, and that way people can be able to jump in right away. All right, awesome. Thank you, Cloud. All right, get things all set up here, posting the links, and I'll update the on-screen graphics as we get ready to move into our next reading. For those of you who are tuning in on the 1111 movement group, thank you so much. We're just about to get into our next reading for our newest Patreon supporter, who is Cloud. And we are doing it with the Lightworker Oracle deck. So for those of you who are here tuning in on the 1111 group, please feel free to drop a 333 in the chat to let me know that you are here. And you can also tune in on YouTube as well. And I'll post a link for YouTube. That way, so if the feed glitches out on Facebook, which it probably will, you can jump over on YouTube. All right, team, let's get right into this next reading. And again, let's keep those Patreon supports coming in. We are currently at about 165. Thank you again, everyone, for being here, for rocking it. And again, when you're supporting the Patreon, you're supporting like the work that we're doing as a community. Let's get right into this reading. And Cloud, we also have a Discord server that you can join. So if you're familiar with Discord, you can join it out. And again, even if you're brand new to a lot of this stuff, metaphysical, spiritual, conscious, and shifting stuff, then yeah, I'm really happy to be able to just kind of like help like serve as a bit of a guide. So, all right. All right, thank you again, everyone, for joining in. We're just about to get into our first, not our first reading, our third reading for this broadcast for our newest Patreon supporter, who is Cloud. And for those of you who are tuned in on the 1111 movement group and you would like to be able to get a reading as well, you can sign up to the Patreon, and we'll explain a little bit more about that, but there's awesome perks there that you can check out. Cloud, let me know that you're ready, and we'll get right into this. So what I'm going to do, Cloud, I am going to invite you to be able to drop into a space of gratitude, and then I'm going to tell you to focus on the intention of show us what we need to see. And then from there, you're going to type now into the chat once you are ready, and I'll walk you through this. All right, there, I'm just posting the link to the Discord in there, so you can join that, which is like open to the public, but then leading members get access to the private parts of it. All right. Okay, everyone, thank you again. Let's hear a nice big thank you to Cloud, and let's get right into this. This is using the Lightworker Oracle deck. So again, I know it's not tarot, but hey, it's all right. It's still a message. All right, Cloud, for everybody here, let's take a moment here, just connect with our breath. For everybody here, just adding our collective energy. So Cloud, just giving yourself permission to just relax your body, close your eyes. And again, just feeling the fact that together, everyone tuned in right now, we are growing together as a global team of real world superheroes, as real world light guardians, as heroes, as hackers, as social alchemists, people who are showing up with the intention to help change the world through the power of art and creativity, through the power of compassion. Cloud, as you're in this space of gratitude, I want you to be able to focus your intention on show me what I need to see, and show us what we need to see. Speak this intention with your heart. Speak it with your mind. Speak it with your words. Take a few more breaths here, Cloud. And then when you are ready, type now into the chat. Give it another second, Cloud. Take a couple more breaths and type now into the chat again, because I'm just going to charge it up here. You just jumped in a little early, but that's okay. All right, so take another couple breaths. And I'm just going to charge it up real quick. And so, with the magic of this moment, let us continue to own it for each and every single one of us. Let us continue to flow into all of this so that we can show each other how to rise through this bliss, creators within this matrix, as we continue to wake up as Neo within the dream, as we continue to battle against the agents pristine. We will continue to step into the power that we have always been. So for everyone here, let us rise together in love. For everyone here, let us bring forth the wisdom from above. And Cloud, when you're ready, type now into the chat, and we will pull the card and see what message the universe has. There it is. Perfect, Cloud. Good job. All right. Thank you again to everyone tuning in. For those of you on the 1111 movement group, I think you just joined. I appreciate everybody dropping now into the chat. We were specifically speaking to our person who just signed up on Patreon, who we're doing this reading for. But again, we're doing this reading for anybody who's joined in on the collective. And if you would like to be the next person that we do the reading for, go ahead and sign up to the Patreon. And I'm just going to post a link right there. And then we're going to see what card this is. So go ahead and check out the Patreon for those of you on the 1111 movement group. And yeah, let's see what card we got here. All right. So cool. All right. I like this one. This one's exciting. This one's new to me too. So the card that we have pulled for Cloud, our newest Patreon supporter, is number 20, Life Path. Just try to get the reflection there. Give me 2 seconds here. I'm just going to open up the book, and then I'm going to talk a little bit more about what the image is. And then from there, we'll talk a little bit more about the message to be able to extract from this. So yes, for those of you tuned in right now, we are still live. So this is number 20, Life Path. Yeah, it says at the bottom there. It's just the reflection on the screen is a little blurred. All right, so looking at this image here, what do we have? For those of you on Instagram, click the link in my bio to tune in on YouTube. So we have this image here of these babies, 2 babies at the bottom of the page. And they have this like kind of like beautiful kind of like smoky energy rising from their head. I'm not even sure how what I would call that. It's kind of like, I don't even know how I would call it, like cloud wispy stuff. And you can see the various well, actually it has like the various kind of stages of growth. You can see there's like a small fetal egg, and then like another like bigger size fetus, and then the baby there, and then a bigger baby there, and then above them is like this super cool angel that's kind of like overlooking the baby. Wow, this is a really, really bizarre image, but I like it. And what else is going on here? Am I missing? What else am I seeing here? My goodness. So again, this like angel that's kind of got their like wings spread, and they're kind of like maybe like blowing a blessing down to the baby. Maybe that's like the soul of the baby kind of coming through. And again, they kind of got this blue robe around them and these beautiful oranges and yellows. And again, just kind of like all sorts of really, really cool colors there. That's a hard image to explain. So, all right. I'm going to read what it says here. So again, for everybody here, if you are tuned into this message is for you. Thank you again, everyone, for joining in. Yo, Lise, good to see you. If you want to jump over to YouTube, go to youtube.com/SkullBabylon. If you are here, this message is for you. Thank you again, everyone, for your support, for holding space. Listen. Number 20, Life Path. Do you wonder about your divine life path and purpose? Have you ever been enrolled in spiritual training? The training might be obvious in the form of a course you are undertaking, or hidden in a life lesson that is currently triggering your healing, learning, or growth. Whether it is obvious or not, successfully completing this training will empower you to fulfill your divine purpose this lifetime. Further clarity will be revealed to you. The universe promises that you shall know what you need at the perfect time and in the way you cannot miss. So again, Cloud, just kind of just listen here, and we'll explain more of the details as we go. You are in spiritual training for a divine mission that serves your soul, development, and spiritual growth while simultaneously helping others. I'll read that again. You are in spiritual training for a divine mission that serves your soul development and spiritual growth while simultaneously helping others. It will help you express your spiritual purpose this lifetime. At times, your training may be aligned with study or applying your skills in ways that seem more obviously aligned with the spiritual path. At other times, your spiritual training may be distinguished in ordinary life circumstances. If you are unsure of what you are meant to be learning or exactly how you are in spiritual training at the moment, look at the situations in your life that are causing you the most struggle. This is where you will find your training taking place. The struggle is the place where holding on is competing with letting go. I'm going to reread that. The struggle is the place where holding on is competing with letting go. It is, however, nothing to be ashamed of. A growth edge where you are doing the inner work or growing into more peace, trust, and love is a sign that you are certainly growing. It isn't comfortable. Sometimes it might cause fatigue and feeling of defeat. Yet you shall not give up. You shall continue. And in time you shall triumph with a feeling of peace, resolution, and wisdom. If you are feeling stuck, perhaps you are working on a significant issue or challenge that won't seem to resolve itself no matter how much effort you apply. Then you are being guided to ask for help from your higher spiritual team using the invocation below. Call upon, and there's an invocation, we'll read that later. Call upon your own higher self and soul to take over all aspects of the issue. Be patient. Do not resist what is, but neither collapse into it. Use your spiritual practice, for example, meditation, journaling, dance, music, art, yoga, time in nature, and prayer, to strengthen you as you move through this training. If you are uncertain about what is happening in your life now, don't fret. Sometimes a smaller desire has to be sacrificed for the attainment of the greater vision. Be at peace. Know that all beings shine at the right time, and so shall you. This oracle is also a confirmation that a vision of your path on earth is being shared with you, whether in small daydreams, big dreams at night, in meditation, or simply in the feedback you receive repeatedly from different sources. You are being asked to trust in what you see, sense, and feel about your vision for your life path and divine purpose. Even if you are not clear, trust that it is coming to you with loving divine timing. Be open-minded and listen for what makes your heart sing. Okay. All right. Cloud, let me know if you're still here. Hopefully this isn't too weird, though I admit it is pretty weird. Again, this is for Cloud, our newest Patreon supporter. And Cloud, let me do my best to be able to walk you through this. So again, with this card, being able to perceive it from a variety of perspectives, it's really inviting us to be able to understand the idea that, like, there's a purpose. Is it bad to say? Cloud, you're the only one in the Discord, in the Twitch chat, dude. You're welcome to, you can share it there. It's okay. Like, no one else is reading it except you and me, so you're welcome to. Well, that's interesting though. You said that reading was spot on. Okay, cool. Let's ride that momentum. Let's dive into this a little bit further. Okay. And so again, by me kind of like reading this, I'm going to kind of like share this in a way that's going to relate to others as well. And this is kind of honestly, like, Cloud, like, this is, I know it's kind of weird, but like the way how this tarot kind of works is like, it works like, it's, yeah, again, it's like, show us what we need to see. When we have that intention, the right message will come through. Again, for those of you tuning in on the 1111 movement group, if you would like a reading on air, go ahead and sign up for the Patreon, and we'll keep an eye on that as we go. All right, so this reading is for our newest Patreon supporter. Okay. So again, with a message like this, it's important to be able to understand. I think it's important to be able to understand that there's a point in our life where each and every single one of us begins to see a bigger picture. Often society will kind of tell us that, oh, who are we? Oh, we're just humans. We have a name. We have a mother and a father, and we just kind of go through life. and whatever happens, happens. And the future isn't even known. However, once we kind of go through a process of spiritual awakening, we begin to realize that time is not linear and that the future already exists. Cloud, the incantation, we're going to read that at the end. We're going to read that like after we kind of talk about here. Oh, my voice is going. I got to be careful. So the incantation we'll read at the very end. Oh, excuse me, everyone. All right. So with this card, I think it's very important to be able to see this card as an importance of being able to practice dropping into trust, as a purpose of a way of being able to see the bigger picture. And this is something that, again, isn't really taught to us by society, isn't really taught to us in a way that is like commonly accepted, in a way where we actually be able to understand that whatever is coming to us is there for us. And in this card, it's really encouraging us to understand that the life path that we are on is specifically created, designed, engineered, however you want to think of it, to be able to evolve your consciousness, to be able to help bring forth your talents and your gifts. And again, what I've said before is something very simple but very important. This reality is not just here to make you happy. It's here to evolve your consciousness. It's here to evolve your soul. And what does that really mean? To evolve your soul means being able to understand who you are and what you are capable of, by being able to understand how to empathetically connect with others by going through your own process of healing. If you are here to help make a difference in this world, then you are going to be tested. And nobody gets throughout this life without being challenged. And so the life path in itself is literally a school. It is literally a process in which we are constantly being trained and tested in order to be able to prepare us for what is next. So even though we may at times feel lost, for you, Cloud, and for anybody else listening to this, there's a very, very important kind of spiritual awareness that we can tap into that is basically just reminding us that whatever it is that we are going through is there to actually be able to help move us into that next stage of growth, to be actually be able to help like evolve our soul. And again, I know I'm kind of repeating myself, but the message behind this is that through knowing this, that nothing is just totally random, that the universe is not just here to kick your ass and spit on your face, but it's actually here to teach you a lesson. It gives you the invitation to be able to see yourself as the student and to be able to meet those lessons from a place of gratitude and optimism and confidence. And even if that confidence isn't something that you're totally feeling right now, you can give yourself the permission to be able to say like, hey, look, I know that this is challenging. I know that this is hard. I know that I may feel a bit lost right now, but the fact that I am lost is actually pointing me in the right direction. And what I mean by that is that when one door closes, others open. And sometimes when we aren't sure of where to go, it encourages us to go in. So for you, Cloud, and for everybody else, this is a great reminder of just being able to feel like if we're feeling like we're just like, I don't know what direction I'm supposed to go in next, that is a great time to be able to begin not only connecting with ourselves, but begin connecting with other people. Begin connecting with community. I mean, Cloud, I think it's really cool the fact that you're here because I want to be able to help you. Like I want to be able to assist you and to be able to provide you and at the very least, just to be able to encourage you to step into your next steps with the sense of confidence in knowing that things will be okay. And oftentimes in the way how the journey of life works, with the way how the path of life works, we'll go through periods of uncertainty, we'll go through periods of strife and challenge, and yet flash forward several months or maybe even, just a couple weeks, and we're in a place where we're just like, whoa, I feel like I'm meant to be where I am right now, and I wouldn't be where I am right now if I didn't go through what I had gone through. If what I had done had never happened. And even though what I had went through was something that was like challenging and again, like maybe not really fun, it still evoked something within me. It shook my comfort and caused me to look at things that needed reevaluating. It caused me to be able to develop more of an acute awareness, to be able to test my creative thinking, to be able to step into more of my problem solving, to be able to tap into more of my intuition. And so again, with this card, really just kind of like seeing like the path of like, again, it's kind of like showing like this little like baby growing and stuff like that. This is a very powerful message that I want to be able to share with you, Cloud, and for everybody else here. Considering the fact that time is non-linear basically implies the idea that who we are as adults is already inside of us as children. And who you are right now is already containing who you are growing into the future. And so your job is to nurture that. Your job is to show up as a student. Your job is to pay attention to the test and to show up as ready as possible. To show up in a way where instead of just being like, oh no, another test from the universe, screw this, I'm going to run out of class. And if you keep doing that, you're not going to pass the tests. And then you're going to stay in like grade 1 for the rest of your life, or grade 2 or grade 3. But for you, Cloud, for everybody else here, you are here to evolve. You are here to rise. You are here to serve. And as you continue to step into more of your own power, it allows you to be able to connect with more of your own gifts. And so for you, Cloud, you have value. You have talents. You have gifts. You have vision. You have courage. You have something that this world needs. And what you are going through right now is actually helping that be birthed. Like when you think about it, like birth in itself is not a comfortable thing. Very rarely is it ever a comfortable thing. And yet, as we go through this process of discomfort, we bring forth new life. We bring forth new creation. And again, like look at the idea of, again, like the butterfly, like, right? Like it starts off as a little caterpillar. And then when it goes in its cocoon, it literally turns into a pile of goo. And then it restructures itself and it emerges as something new. So if you feel like you're like kind of getting your ass kicked by the universe, understand that that's actually just you going through transformation. And what was meant for you will be there. And what was not meant for you will leave. And when things leave, it opens up new space for something new. And so for Cloud, I'm gonna read what you said there in a second. There are things on your path that are on their way. And again, this isn't me trying to be psychic or fortune telling. This is just me speaking to anyone because this is how the universe works. And this comes from my own wisdom, my own knowledge, my own experience. And that's all I can really share. But again, there are things on your path. There are people you are going to meet. There are synchronicities that are going to occur. And again, if you're not familiar with the term synchronicity, Cloud, that's basically like by being able to, when two people meet at the right place at the right time. And so for Cloud, I really invite you to be able to like step into that warrior mindset. Be Cloud, like literally be Cloud. Like I know, like when I think of Cloud, like I'm thinking of like Cloud from like Final Fantasy. And what do we have? We have this like badass warrior archetype. And if that's something you resonate with, then let this be a way to prove it to yourself. And so you choose how you approach the challenges. Your attitude becomes your altitude. If you show up and just kind of be like, fuck this shit, then you're basically saying, fuck this, I don't want to grow. But if you're just like, yo, I'm going to show up and I'm going to challenge myself, then you're basically saying, yes, let's receive the gifts of this. Let's receive the lessons. Let's receive the growth. And again, your growth is not just your own. It's helping you become more of who you are, so you're going to help others down the road. And again, when you think about it, like when we go to the gym, we're literally like resisting, we're pumping, we're putting ourselves in a situation of discomfort, of dis-ease, and it's ripping open our muscles. And it's not the actual weightlifting that makes our muscles bigger. When we lift weights and we do that, it actually tears the muscles open. And then new matter fills that space in the muscles. Like it literally fills in the cracks. And then that's how it gets bigger. So it's actually the rest period where the growth actually occurs. And so for you, Cloud, I think it's important to kind of like go through the challenge and know that like as you come out the other side, give yourself that time to integrate, give yourself that time to reflect, give yourself that time to be proud, and celebrate yourself right now. Celebrate yourself right now, knowing that you already have what you need. Because this is the key thing, Cloud. If you feel lost, if you feel like there's like things that are challenging you and stuff right now, know that whatever you are going through, whatever you are being given, is coming to you because you are strong enough to get through it, because you are strong enough to carry it. This universe is not just here to bully you. It's literally here to serve you, and it's help you to tap into that warrior archetype. It's giving you permission to see the warrior that you are and give yourself the choice to prove it to yourself. Give your choice to be able to say, like, fuck yes. I say yes to the challenges. And this is the thing with what's really interesting in this, and Cloud, I want to be able to tell you this because maybe no one's ever told you this before. When you go out of your way to be able to seek healthy challenges, it actually enriches your life by building resilience, and it basically kind of like reduces the randomness that will come at you in terms of unexpected challenges. So for you, Cloud, honestly, Cloud, like, this is going to sound silly, and this goes for everybody here. Again, what I encourage you to do, I want you to kind of think about what we said, and then today or tomorrow, I want you, the next time you take a shower, to take a cold shower, meaning take a regular shower, and then the last 2 minutes, put the temperature and crank it to the cold. And when you crank it to the cold, I want you in your mind to get into this state where it's basically me in embracing the coldness of the shower is me proving to myself that I am resilient, that I am strong, that I am powerful. And if I can get through a simple cold shower, then whatever else life throws at me ain't nothing, because I know I can get through this. So it's all mental. It's so much of it's mental, Cloud. And so if you literally get in the habit of having cold showers, and you will find that you will approach your challenges differently. And when you take a cold shower, see it, like, get into the mindset of victory. So when you crank the shower cold, be like, oh yes, this is a feeling of victory. This is a feeling of accomplishment. This is a feeling of me embracing the challenges, yet me also feeling myself becoming stronger in that moment. If this resonates with you, and for anybody else, please feel free to drop those 1111s in the comment, and we'll keep reading into this a bit more. I wanted to be able to read a little bit of what Cloud said here. Cloud says, you know what was the weirdest thing in the initial reading statement? What it said about dreaming of my path, etc., or whatever it said, believe me or not, but I sometimes have these dreams that predict the future, although they don't always come totally true, but slightly different. Fucking weird, man. This reading definitely resonates with me due to the specific readings being spot on. Cloud, thank you so much, man. Like, your feedback really, really appreciates that. I'm when I say man, I should just say dude. I don't know whether or not what gender you are, but nonetheless, thank you so much, Cloud, just for being here, and again, for being open to receiving. Again, I know this is kind of like the fact that you're here and the fact that you said yes to this reading is actually like really, really cool. And I want everyone here in the YouTube chat to just be able to like applaud Cloud for just being able to kind of like lead by example, and just by being able to say yes to something that may be new to them. And Cloud, if you want, I'm posting the link for the YouTube chat. If you want to jump over to the YouTube chat, Cloud, please feel free to do that, because honestly, if you do, like, that's a cool place where you can hang out with other people who are tuned in right now, and I bet you they'll be like, yo, like, yes, like, Cloud, you got this. Because again, what you're going through, Cloud, is not, it's unique. It's special to you because it's your path. And again, it's literally something that you have to kind of approach this from this idea of, again, thinking non-linear time, that your soul, your consciousness, whatever you want to think of it as, design this path for yourself to be able to help you become who you are. So maybe you're younger, maybe you're still growing. I don't know much about you and things like that. We are constantly growing. And again, whatever challenges we are going through are constantly allowing us to be able to enrich our life. Sweet, Cloud jumped over to chat. Awesome. Everyone say hello to Cloud. Give them a nice shout out. And again, thanks for being our newest Patreon supporter. And yeah, huge claps. Like seriously. Because again, Cloud, like literally, like you being here is you kind of just like taking a step into a community that gets you and supports you and wants you to like be able to like kick ass in all the best way possibles and to share your gifts. Because again, it's something that a lot of people here, like, we're in a community where, again, we've all gone through challenges. And Cloud, I'll say this to you specifically, the challenges that you are going through are going to give you the wisdom to be able to help others along the way. Think about it. If you're just like, hey, I want to be able to help people learn how to heal from a broken heart, then the universe is like, okay, sweet, we're gonna break your heart, we're gonna, have a relationship breakup or whatever it is. There's lots of ways to have a broken heart, and again, even with the broken heart, it's not broken, it breaks open, and you're gonna learn how to heal that, and you're gonna learn how to be able to develop that resilience, and then you're gonna be able to show up in a more empathetic way to be able to help assist others. And that's a super cool thing. So again, the life path in this, and we'll wrap up this reading in a little bit, and then we'll read the incantation. And again, I appreciate everybody here just being supportive for Cloud. It really means a lot. Like, I want everybody here to just feel like, this is a badass space. We got something really unique here, and I really appreciate everyone being here. Again, this card reminds us that our life path exists to serve us. And there's other details here that we can kind of get into, because there's this idea of karma and dharma. And I'll basically kind of explain this real quick. From my understanding, humans have a very interesting thing known as free will. It is quite special. But we also have what is known as our dharma. And our dharma can be thought of as a path that is kind of like our path of most growth. The path that will lead us into like our golden self, our activated avatar. The way how we move through life is by being able to try and stay aligned with our dharma path as much as possible. Yet there will be times when we fall off the path to the left and to the right. And when we do that, that's when karma will gently push us back onto the path. And so again, Cloud, maybe the fact that like there were some things that you were uncertain about, and synchronistically you connected to this chat and you were really transparent and open with us. This is actually karma kind of leading you back onto your dharma to be able to say like, fuck yes, you got this. Like, fuck yes, you got this. Like 100% you got this, because in the future you already have this. And if you can kind of like get into that mindset of not thinking of the future as just like running through a cloud of smoke, but it's more kind of like taking a lasso and throwing it in, or like a grappling hook, take like a grappling hook from like Ocarina of Time and like shoot it, and then it connects to the future, and then it pulls you through it. So give yourself that confidence in knowing that your future already exists, but your job is to align with it. You're not just running through the smoke empty. You are aligning with the future by doing the inner work, by doing the personal work, and by being able to say yes to the challenges, by being able to say yes to showing up as a student of the cosmos, and by allowing yourself to graduate into the next levels. The people who say no to challenges will stay at that grade level of like 2 and 3. The people who say like, yo, I'm studying for the test, I'm showing up as a good student, I'm paying attention to my dreams, I'm like sharing my art, I'm sharing my passions, we graduate, we go up, we up, go up, go up. And that's not like a hierarchy thing, because as you graduate, the tests get harder, you become more responsible, but you also become a bigger beacon, you also become more capable of serving others as well. So it's a caveat, and that's why honestly some people will choose to stay as a soul, will stay in grade 2 and 3, and that's okay, because as you kind of graduate, it will get challenging, but you're ready for those challenges. So again, let us all remind ourselves that our life path is something that exists for us. And it is something that is already kind of like constructed in the higher dimensional realms. And it actually was like engineered by us and karma. It's like a little bit of both. So it's like kind of like before we spawned into this video game that we were like, okay, I'm going to go through this challenge, this challenge, this challenge, this challenge. And I'm going to unlock this ability, this ability, this ability, this ability. And I'm going to help people by doing this, 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 and this. And you kind of create this list. And then basically, again, you just kind of like show up for the game. And the universe is like, okay, here's what you ordered. And if you can remember the fact that you ordered this, like that's a thing, Cloud. If you can, even if you don't fully understand it, if you can kind of just drop into that space and be like, oh, this is actually something that I made for myself. And it's not that bad. And it may be challenging. But again, we got this. We can step into this. We can continue to rise together as a team. We can continue to rise into our destiny with courage, with passion, and resilience. So this is a very, very powerful card that really encourages us to step into our power, to step into our confidence, to step into that guardian warrior energy. So I'm going to read the invocation here. And yeah, again, life path, very, very, very cool card that, again, really just kind of reflects on the idea of being able to see things from that higher dimensional perspective by seeing challenges as opportunities for growth, and by changing our attitude. Your attitude becomes your altitude. So if you're just going to keep complaining, then the universe is probably going to keep sending you more things to complain about. If you can say yes to the challenges, you're going to overcome them, and then you're going to be in those spaces of bliss. And again, It's about riding the waves. It's not trying to, you can't control the ocean, but you can learn to ride the waves. That's a saying that I like to share. So Cloud, thank you again. And for everybody here, drop those 1111s if this resonates with you. And I'm going to read the invocation. And Cloud, as I read this, I want you to kind of like imagine yourself reading this. And Cloud, I can send you the write-up for this, but I'll need you to like connect to my Instagram, which is at Mystic Spider-Man, and I'll post a link for that as well if you want the write-up for this, or technically I could send it through Patreon. Here we go. Invocation. For everyone here, imagine this is you saying this. I call upon the wise and unconditionally loving ones to assist me now in perceiving, living, and manifesting my truest and most joyful life path and divine purpose. Help me know what I need to know when I need to know it. And with everything else, may I be assisted to feel peace, trust, and patience as my beautiful life path unfolds, guided by the loving hand of the universe. May unconditional love reach into the hearts of all living beings, helping every creature to find true fulfillment of their destiny. So be it. So again, Cloud, for everyone, this is you stepping into your destiny. This is you stepping into your destiny, dude. And again, I really, what was the part here that said, for everybody here, I want everybody here, let's just kind of, this is probably the last reading. We'll stick around for a little bit. I don't have to leave for hockey for another 15 minutes. If there's more Patreon signups, like seriously, bonus, like seriously, if people were just like, yo, Brendan, that reading was awesome, and you're just like, I want to sign up for the Patreon, then please do it. Veg Chef, thank you so much for your comments in the 1111. Check out my Patreon if you want to add your support there. Loving energy choice you make. Please, again, like your guys' support allows me to keep showing up so that we can cultivate this energy together. And plus, when you sign up, you can get a personal reading. But I just want everyone here. I want everyone here to just do a micro meditation. So for everybody here, I want you to just give yourself permission to be at peace right now. I want you to just like, and seriously, you can admit the fact that things may not be easy. I want you to even admit that you're going through challenges. But again, I want you to see those challenges as obstacles within this psychedelic metaphysical gym that are making you stronger. And for everybody here, I want you to just be able to like take a breath, relax, give permission to your nervous system to relax. Because when you relax, that's when you kind of get into that like Zen flow state. You allow yourself to listen, you allow yourself to be guided. And so it's our free will to be able to step into this place of peace, which allows us to kind of be able to receive that guidance that is already moving through us. So for everyone here, I want you to just be able to like breathe into this moment. Feel the oneness of this moment. Remind yourself that you are supported, that you are loved, that this in itself is the perfect reality. Everything is unfolding as it should. May you continue to be aware. May you continue to be conscious. May you continue to show up with courage. You are the avatar activating. Just take a few more breaths here in silence. Give yourself permission to be in peace at this moment, knowing that it will serve far beyond. I want you to say to yourself, I want you to say, I trust. I want you to say, I trust. I trust the universe. And you can add in your own words here. I trust my ability to show up. Trust the process. I trust the strength within my infinite heart. I trust that all shall be as it is meant to be for the greatest good. And I trust that many blessings are already here and will continue to find their way to me. May I be open to receiving them, and may I feel the blessings already within this moment, and may it cultivate my peace and my warrior spirit. Take a couple more breaths here, everyone. I want everybody here to just send some good vibes to themselves. Now I want you to send some good vibes to everybody else who's tuned into this broadcast. Now I want everybody here to just send some bonus good vibes specifically to our new friend Cloud. And I want you to just kind of like in your mind, just be like, fuck yeah, Cloud, you got this. You got this, dude. Fuck yeah, we believe in you. Yeah, rise to the challenge. You fucking got this. Yeah. So take one more breath here. Big exhale. Release any doubt. One more for good measure. Release any doubt. Rise to the challenge. Open your eyes. Return your awareness to the space around you. Awesome. All right. Thank you again, everyone, for joining us, for being here. Cloud, if this resonates with you, if this was a pleasant introduction, please feel free to leave those 1111s in the chat. Cloud says, thank you so much, Brendan. It's weird how much I needed this. Oh, and yes, a direct message about sending the information. Cloud, dude, that means a lot, man. Like, dude, like, seriously, that means a lot to be able to hear your feedback on that. Because, again, that's why we do it. Like, again, that's why I show up on this, because it's not just me. Like, this is me showing up in my spiritual service, because I know what I'm doing here is reaching people and it's inspiring them. Awesome. Thank you, Loving Choice. Thank you, Red Sapphire. Please send me a DM if you enjoyed this reading. And again, be sure to connect to our Patreon. If you would either like a personal reading, and again, when you sign up onto the Patreon, you can get a beautiful Lemurian Light Guardian Crystal. I'll just show that there. And that's when you sign up at the $11 level on the Patreon. I hand make these, by the way. And again, you can get a personal reading. You can have access to me as your private conscious media creation coach. So if you're like thinking about creating content, if you want to create a Patreon, work with me. And again, the sign up for that is the $11 level, which is like super affordable, because again, that in itself is like worth like literally like over $250 a month. So again, I appreciate everybody here just like honoring the value that we're putting in to like what we're creating here as a community. And thank you to the Patreon supporters, because you help make this possible. You've literally changed lives today, Patreon supporters. Your support has allowed us to hold this space, and it's allowed us to plant a seed, be it with Cloud, be it with anybody here who's tuned in, and allowed them to just be open to receiving a message that, yeah, it comes through me, but hey, it's just us. I'm just the universe talking through my face. Like, what? Like, how does that even work? Such magic. So again, for everybody else here, patreon.com/Brendan Culleton. Love every choice. If you click the link in my bio, you can jump over to the YouTube if you want to join the YouTube chat, and that's where the link for my Patreon is. And again, the Patreon, we're working on getting 3 Patreon signups. What do you think, guys? Again, let's get as many Patreon signups as we can, like in the next 15 minutes before I have to head to hockey. So again, my name is Brendan. I'm a full-time conscious media creator. I've been creating conscious media for over 10 years. I'm an entrepreneur, and doing this is my devotion, is my job. And me building the Patreon is allowing me to be able to like continue to do more of this for the community. So that's why I have the goal on Patreon of reaching 200 supporters, which will allow me to do all sorts of other cool things. And straight up, I'm being transparent here. Like, me earning money on Patreon, the reason why I'm hustling so hard right now through my Patreon and the fact that I'm broadcasting every day is because I'm trying to reach that goal and beyond, because I'm working on manifesting an apartment for myself, because that is something that I'm super passionate about and that I deserve. And the fact that it hasn't happened yet has been because I've been showing up in service so much here, and all of the seeds that we've been putting in, let it sprout like that bamboo. And if you love the work that I do, then please, a simple support on Patreon goes a long way. And seriously, like, me getting that apartment is so important for me, because that's like something that is going to allow me to just be able to like have that space and have that sacred space, and allow me to grow and allow me to work and allow me to like spend time with people I care about in a way that's like, still, like, I haven't had that yet. Like, it's crazy, right? So how many people here have their own apartment? You know what it's like. So again, if you want that from me and you're just like, fuck yeah, Brendan, you deserve that, like, we want you to have like a fucking dope apartment, then let's make it possible by showing what is possible as a community. Again, this isn't some like corporation from the top down. This is us as a community showing what's possible. And again, my objective over the next 5 years is to help over 100 fellow conscious creators to become sustained in sharing their passions, in sharing what they do for a living. So yes. So thank you again, everyone, for your support. And again, like, seriously, I don't want to ostracize people, because like, if you're not in a position to sign up for the Patreon, again, your support here is equally appreciated. Your good vibes, your comments, your compliments, your shares, if you're not signed up for the Patreon. Like, again, you being here, it is all equally appreciated. If someone signed up for the Patreon for $500, it would be equally appreciated for you simply being here watching this video. So understand that the love that I have for all of you is equally infinite. That's why you all get infinite love. Is that enough? So, all right. All right, much love, everyone. Let's take a moment here just to be able to, again, decompress for a little bit. I have to leave for hockey literally in the next 10 minutes. You can sign up for Patreon at any moment. Which again is like what I'm building as I build the Patreon. So, which is again about featuring other creators. So, but yes, Love Every Choice. That's so cool. So Love Every Choice, make sure that in my profile for Paradigm Shift Central, you'll see the link to my personal profile, which is Mystic Spider-Man. So if you click that, go there, and again, you can find my Patreon through there and community of conscious creators and leaders. So if you're just like, how would it feel for you to be like amongst a team of fellow entrepreneurs, conscious YouTubers, conscious Instagrammers, influencers who are working together and sharing that space to be able to help increase our collective influence and to create that story? That's part of what you get when you sign up onto the Patreon. Plus, yeah, you got one of these bad boys, beautiful Lemurian Light Guardian Crystal, and I'll show you some other ones. Here's a big old, what color is this? One's like an orange one. This one's like the color of Ray's lightsaber. Wait, what? Spoilers. So so yes, so again, I want people to be able to, like, with the value that I'm putting into the Patreon, I put it so much value in because I want people to be able to be like, yes, that is something I want to say yes to. Because when you support me on Patreon, you're not just supporting me. I want you to think of it as an investment for yourself. So if you're just like, how do I start reaching more people? Say yes to investing in yourself. $11 a month, that's pretty affordable, and out of that you'll get a shit ton of value. And seriously, just having access to me as a brainstorm to conscious, like, to help you as a conscious creator, like, is super huge. And again, that's because of the fact that I've got over 10 years of experience. So like, I've got the expertise in this, and I'm using my wisdom to be able to help support others. Does that sound pretty cool? Do you guys like, give me feedback. Like, am I doing good with the Patreon? Does it sound like it's like a fucking dope ton of value? If so, drop a 333 in the chats if you guys think that what I'm doing is pretty awesome, and I appreciate your feedback. So yes, Love Every Choice. Again, make sure either direct comment on this page or some way or another, but make sure that if you have like any questions, you can just let me know. And the Patreon doesn't process until February 1st. So again, you can sign up today and the contributions won't process until February 1st. And again, help us reach our goal. So I hope out of me doing this broadcast, it's given other people here a taste of the energy of what I do, the value I provide for the community, and it's made it easy for you to say, yes, this is a guy who I like, and this is something I want to be a part of, and this is something that I'm supporting in any form, be it by showing up, be it by supporting on the Patreon. And again, when you support on the Patreon, that's you saying a fuck yes to the universe. So I can teach you how to create your own Patreon so that you can build regenerative income, so that you can do stuff like what I'm doing, so that you can do tarot broadcasts. Lots of really cool stuff. So again, I know what we're doing is literally like, it's very wolf-like, right? Like, we're treading new territory. Do you guys see that? Do you guys realize that like what we're doing has never been done before? What paradigm shift has never been done before. So yeah, we're figuring it out as we go, but we're fucking guided along the way. So, all right. Yeah, so Love Every Choice, again, if you click the link in my bio, like, that's the YouTube broadcast, and the full recording's there. Like, the Instagram is just the secondary, and I appreciate your feedback saying they saying that they really like this, they love it. So thank you so much. And again, like, yeah, for those of you who are like maybe new to this, yeah, check out our full moon guided global meditations, check out the full-length Journey to Lucidity movies that I've made. Get some buttons from the store. Here, I'll show you these. So these are some of the buttons that we make, and there's lots of different ones. This one says ask me about energy healing, and every single button has the Paradigm Shift Central website on it, and that's with art from our friend Lewis Dyer on there. And these buttons have, like, again, they're meant to evoke synchronicity. You can see the one I got here is a wolf. All the other ones have like different symbolism on them. Who here knows what this is? Cloud, quick, tell us what that is. Anybody, tell us what that is. It's a Triforce. It's from Legend of Zelda. So, all right, Cloud, thank you so much. Saying, take care, everyone. I will try to be here next stream. And Brendan, hope you have a fun time at hockey. Thank you, Cloud. That really means a lot. And thank you again for just like being here, for adding your support, and yeah, for connecting with the community. Direct message me either through Patreon or through Instagram. And yeah, much blessings. Thank you again, Cloud. You rock. All right. Okay, team. I'm just gonna stick around literally just for a couple more minutes, and because I have to head out for hockey. But again, for those of you who are here, I really appreciate you holding space. We got 2 new Patreon signups today, both at the $5 level. And again, I hope by us doing this, again, it just kind of like gives people a chance to be able to like see what it is that we're creating, and to be able to be like, yo, I'd like to be able to learn more about that, and to be able to sign up to the Patreon when it works for them. And yeah, and to ask me any questions as need be. So awesome. All right, love every choice. Are you cool with, can you just send a direct message either to this profile or my Mystic Spider-Man profile, and that way, so we can just, if you have any questions, you can just let me know that way. That way, because in case the video, I'll remember your username. All right, but yeah, either way, make sure that you connect. Okay, cool, perfect. Thank you. And again, like, seriously, like, every person here who's tuned into this is a fucking badass creator. And again, so like, I want you to understand the story that's happening here. Like, the fact that I'm Mystic Spider-Man is literally kind of like this idea that, like, if this was a plot in a movie, it's like literally the team of superheroes coming together. And that's my job. Like, my purpose in being here is to help the other superheroes assemble. So we're basically like building a real world team of superheroes. And if that sounds pretty dope, then drop an 1111 in the chat, because that's what we're doing. And that's the story that we're inviting other people to be a part of. So, all right, team. We are going to wrap up this broadcast in the next minute. Please feel free to surprise me by signing up to the Patreon, and then I'll see that after I get out of my hockey game tonight, and then I'll be like, oh yeah. And again, when you sign up onto the Patreon, you can also get a private reading, like, or you can get a private with me as an alternative option. So that's pretty cool. And again, honestly, the one-on-one brainstorming sessions are like super valuable. Like, those in themselves are like worth like hundreds of dollars. Just like, again, think about it. It's like you're trying to get clarity. Like, that's super valuable. If I can like help, that's what I'm good at. I'm good at like holding space, giving people like the space to be able to have ideas flow, giving them feedback, giving them direction, giving them instruction, and allowing them to be like, okay, sweet, I know what my next steps are, you know? So thank you again to everyone tuning into this on the 1111 movement group. I apologize that the feed keeps like falling apart there. Hey, Lily, thanks for joining in. I saw your comments there. Thank you so much. Lily, one of our Patreon supporters, one of our leading members. And hold on, that link didn't work properly. Sweet. All right, team, if you enjoyed this broadcast, be sure to hit that like on YouTube, subscribe if you aren't already yet, follow me on Instagram at Mystic Spider-Man. And I am going to step off in literally just like one more minute, just a couple more minutes, and we'll just kind of hang out here. Does anybody have any quick questions or just any gratitude that they want to express? If anybody has any gratitude they want to express, leave that in the comments now, and I'll read it on air. And it could be gratitude for me, it could be gratitude for the team, whatever works. Thanks for dropping those 1111s. I love the fact that you guys are just hanging out on the Instagram feed. There's a party in the YouTube feed, but the Instagram feed is like its own party too. We're literally broadcasting. I have how many cameras? 1, 2, 3 technically, and then Facebook, Twitch, and YouTube. So that's what I do as a techno shaman. And again, I can teach you how to do this too. So all right. Thank you again, everyone. We're going to wrap up this broadcast in about 2 minutes. Sign up to the Patreon when you can. Surprise me by signing up after I get out of hockey. And yeah, if you have any questions, please feel free to let me know. We're working our way towards that goal of 200 supporters on Patreon. Working on getting there by the end of the month to the best of our abilities. And yeah, working on like surpassing that. Because again, once we get to 200, the next goal will be 250. And again, what I'm working on doing eventually is to be able to like have that freedom to travel, have that freedom to be able to continue doing this and eventually, you know, go to other places, to live with my wife, to be able to like raise a family and things like that, right? So thank you for supporting in what it is that we're creating. And if I can do this, we can do this. And thank you for allowing me to be in this place of leadership. It allows you like being here like helps me even become a better leader, because it helps me be like even more accountable. It gives me the opportunity to see myself show up, right? Because it's like, oh shit, these people are expecting something from me. All right, let's give them what I'm here to give. Let's fucking show up and share some inspiration and do some dope meditations and give some leadership and give some instruction and help them activate the leader within themselves. So for everybody here, we are all equals, captains amongst captains. We are all flying these ships together. We all have our own ships, and we're all kind of on the Paradigm Shift Central ship, but together we have a fucking armada of dope ships that are firing lasers of love out into the universe. So it's like pew 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 pew. So just visualize that. So all right, just gonna read any closing compliments, and then I gotta head out the door or else I'm gonna be late for hockey. See, a part of me is just like, but I just want to hang out here all night because you guys are awesome. And I feel the love, even if Peggy didn't like my reading from earlier. You guys remember Peggy? I liked Peggy. I like that feedback because when Peggy was just like, oh, like that wasn't a reading, and then I was like, I'll show you a reading, and then I fucking went with it in the next one and gave the best damn reading I could. So that, do you ever find that happens when people are just like, you're not very good at that, and then it actually, like, you might get pissed, but then that becomes like a sacred rage that's just like, oh, I'll fucking show you how good I am at this, I'll show you how devoted I am at this, and then afterwards you're just like, wow, I'm kind of glad that they insulted me or something like that, because it actually like brought out you know, like more of my my like just like proof, like just like being able to prove like who I am, not just to them but to yourself as well. Drop a 333 if that resonates with you. All right, team, I gotta head out. Not having this saying, very thankful for you all, especially our facilitator, for bringing us together. Thank you for making this possible, Brendan. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Go do hockey. We are satisfied. Chris, grateful for the assembled heroes. Thank you again. Samantha, thank you as well. Cloud, again, just going through the comments. Kyle, one of our Patreon supporters as well. If there's other Patreon supporters that are in here that I haven't mentioned, thank you to them as well. And for everybody here, go ahead and leave your @ for your Instagrams in the chat. So for everyone on YouTube specifically, just put like your @Instagram sign, and please feel free to connect with each other, because I want you to use this space to be able to connect with other awesome creators. So all right, team, thank you so much. I'm going to be doing more of these broadcasts again tomorrow, so if you want to get a private reading, I actually have a private reading in the morning that I have scheduled, but after that I'll be back on here again. So if you see me on air, please feel free to just jump in and add your energy to the chat, and again, sign up to the Patreon if you feel called when you can, and schedule me for a one-on-one brainstorming session to support you as a creator. And if you have any questions, let me know. And thank you again so much, everyone, for just holding the space and being a part of something really, really cool, really, really awesome, really, really unique, and really, really valuable for the entire community. So Lawrence, thanks for tuning in on Instagram. Love every choice you make. Thank you so much for joining in and for your kind words. Mark as well, one of our Patreon supporters, thank you so much. And yes, let's go play some hockey. So all right, let's all go play some metaphysical hockey. Let's go get those goals. Go team, right? You know, again, I want you to understand that like me growing up was like me playing hockey, but I was the team captain for my team. And now it's basically like turning my hockey experience into like leadership for a fucking badass team of creators. So, all right, team, I gotta get going. Thank you so much. We're wrapping this up. We'll hang out more later. And again, if you are in the team chat, we'll catch up with you there. So until next time, as always, keep it shifty, and I will see you in the future. And I'll score some goals for you. Yeah, I'll do that. I'll score some goals for all of you. So, all right. Thanks for the love. And yeah, thank you so much. Sign up for that Patreon when you can. Follow me at Instagram on Mystic Spider-Man. Subscribe at youtube.com/SkullBabylon. Check out the newest guided global meditation if you missed it. It's really dope. I remastered it for you, and it helps activate the warrior. It's like a fucking battle scene from Lord of the Rings. No spoilers. But yeah, check it out. All right. Much love, team. Talk to you later. Send me a message as need be, and I'll see you in the team chat and in the future. Keep it shifty.